thing. Uh, Sorry, Marco. Hey, James. I hope so too. Hey, Sid. We're live on TikTok. Hey, Millie. Hey, Abby. Live on TikTok. Live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Hello. GIF. Thank God it's Friday. You remember Must See Thursday? Back when, I think it was back when Friends was still airing new episodes. There was a lineup on like ABC, whatever, called Must See. Have to see. Sorry. Who's that? My Monday, I work all weekend. Oof. Rough. Hey, Denise. Hey, Creep Cake. Here's info about candidates running for office. Feel free to just share one of her videos or her profile to me on TikTok, and I'll see it eventually. Thank you. Hey, Liam. Hey, Brian. Welcome in, everybody. TGIF, one more Friday down until 2028. Why you don't want to accept the truth that Trump is saving America? I guess I just don't see it that way. Do you want to come up and explain it to me, Liam, too? I just haven't seen the light. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you all for being here. You hear about the guns thing? Yeah. It's just one more of those. It's just one more of those things that are making me super upset. I guess like the news just gets like worse and worse every day. Finally got to catch a live for the first time in a few weeks. How have you been? How's your campaign going? See the new Department of Defense name? Yep. Remember the people came up before the election. They said, I'm not going to vote for Kamala because Trump is the peace president. No new wars. Now he's renaming the Department of Defense to the Department of War. That right there. Right? Like at what point do you say, damn, I was just totally wrong? It's okay. I've been wrong about things in life. You can just, you can just take accountability for being wrong. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. If you are a Trump supporter, if you can do me a favor and press the little button next to the chat, it should look like that. It's a little pink person, blue person, and you could just tell me what's going on. Tell me the world through your eyes. How is Trump saving America? Have you been reading the One Piece manga? If so, what do you think of the latest? Ooh, the latest chapter was wild. Being wrong isn't an option for them. Hi, I was late because I tried to take pics of the moon. It's okay, I'm late too. You figure out the dolphin? No, maybe we'll do that later tonight. I tune in to watch Rubio shenanigans. It's gonna happen. Disgusting. The people in office do not understand the cost of war. They really don't. I'm a conservative and Trump is awesome. Aaron, request up and explain it to me. I guess I haven't seen the light. If you could explain to me how Trump is awesome. Hey Quinn. I don't know why that's like the fifth person. Oh wait, hold on. This Liam 2 person, Liam 2, if you don't come up, you are gonna get muted. Because like that sentence gives rage bait, right? Like usually they don't say the quiet part out loud, so I'm sending you an invite. All you have to do is press accept to come up. So there's like I feel bad for Rocks, to be honest. There's like 6 so far. 6 big time Trump supporters that just typed in chat and then went on their merry way. I'm asking. Listen, I want to be a Trump supporter. My life would be so much better if I was a Trump supporter. Come up and convince me. Tell me why I should. Why should I support Donald Trump? Hey Gav, hey KP. What's the tally on people's vote if Trump had a PDF video of him come out? Okay, so we asked 9 people. 7 said they wouldn't vote. 1 said they will vote for Kamala, and 1 said they would vote for Trump. Teach me the ways of ignorance. Are we great yet? I don't know. I've been waiting patiently. Thank you everybody for your heart me's. Yeah, it's been a while. I forgot how to go live. I forgot what I'm supposed to say. Hi, if you're here for the first time, we're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night doing political debates, discussions, and fact checks. Sorry, y'all. I'm like teetering on having a mental breakdown. So if I seem a little less chipper than normal, that's why. You've walked too many.
I'm peeing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're good. It's all good. I'm peeing. They're there. I'm peeing. I'm sorry. I'm peeing. Okay. I'm peeing. I can't stop peeing. Yep. I'm so sorry. I'm winning this time. You're good.
Thank you, Ice Cold. You've walked too many conservatives like dogs. They're scared now. Yeah. I mean that could be part of it for sure. I mean, they do get humiliated on here. It's really bad. It's like no matter what, I just ask like a couple basic questions, and they either crash out or reveal what category they fall into. And when I say what category, I mean racist, misogynist, Nazi, or pedophile. No matter what, like clockwork, within 5 questions, they reveal which of those categories they're in. Not multiple. Gavin Newsom wants to give California to Mexico. Yep, that's definitely believable. That's a believable comment. I believe that. Why you won't come to Twitter? You scared? Am I being invited to Twitter? Scarlett May? What's happening here? Is this an official invite to Twitter? You want me to debate on Twitter? I'll debate on Twitter right now if you want. It's been a long few days. Yeah, Emmy. Oh my God. I was supposed to message you. How many little red notifications? Democrats are a cancer to the USA. Here I am. Please explain to me why. I'd like to be a Trump supporter. I want to be convinced. Convince me to be a Trump supporter. I'm officially open-minded tonight. Okay? Yeah, there we go. We got somebody. The snuffing out of potential life is not good. Okay, so this is going to be an abortion man. I love. Their name is Mr. Mister. So you already know they're going to talk about a woman's uterus. Hi, welcome up.
Yeah, what's going on? I actually don't really have a political stance on it, more of a moral and ethical issue. But yeah, I think all potential sentient life is good. So I think trying to destroy that is not so good. Not saying that I don't think people should have abortions. It's not my point. I just think that the idea that it should be this thing that we just do out of either convenience or for financial reasons is not a good enough excuse to ruin the potential of a future human being's life.
All right, I have a couple
It's an
questions.
ethical position, not a moral, not a political one.
Couple questions. How old are you?
23.
Or do you happen to be in a bathroom stall right now? There's a bit of
Yep.
echo.
Yeah. It's a good guess. That's actually really impressive.
Okay. So you feel, chat. I normally don't engage with stuff like this, but we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with guests here. So, okay, you feel that all potential sentient life should be preserved.
I don't know that I wouldn't necessarily go that far. No.
Okay, so you're walking back your statement already.
No, human.
Human. Oh, okay. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
All right. So does that mean that men should stop choking the chicken?
I don't know. I have no issue with contraception. If that's
Okay.
your
Well, sperm are potential sentient human life, right?
again, I think that there's a difference when you get far enough. But I probably would agree. I think that men ideally should. But I think that out of curiosity, would you agree that there's a differentiation between sperm and a fertilized egg?
Not a big enough one for me to care about. It's not a big enough one for me to grant it the same rights I would grant like a living, breathing woman or human.
Sure, yeah. I'm not saying that we should. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, again, my position is just if it's gonna become a human being eventually, and I get what you're saying with the jorking thing. I could theoretically agree with you, but yeah, I think it's a complex issue. Again, like I've stated, I don't have a concrete position. I'm not really into politics. I just think that that's one issue that seems to be ethically poignant and worth the discussion. I think if you want to take it that far with the chicken bit, I could agree with you. Yeah, I could agree with you, but again, I think it's a little bit more far along. But I get where you're going. I totally get where you're coming from.
Did you vote in the last election?
No, I don't support Trump whatsoever. I don't support Israel. Just to clarify, I don't care about politics.
Why did you bring up Israel specifically?
Because I don't know. I feel like if you have any sort of issue with abortion, everyone presumes you're a right-wing crazy. And there's a lot of support for like a total not good thing that's going on in the Middle East right now. So.
Can I ask you, what are your favorite political creators, if you have any?
None.
You just were scrolling and was like, you know what, this guy doesn't have any guests. Let me.
No, I just haven't. I don't think that it's taken seriously enough from an ethical point of view. I hear a lot of people say things like, "Oh yeah, if I'm poor, right, I'd rather just abort my child." Well, I think that there are many people who grew up severely poor and disenfranchised who like their life, especially once they get older. So I think it's kind of a silly justification and excuse to greenlight abortion, and I don't think it's taken seriously enough. Again, I'm not saying that it's something that should be controlled by the state or blah blah blah.
Well, if that's the case, just so we're clear, if you feel that the government should not make that choice, right, then you are pro-choice. It's just that you wouldn't get an abortion.
I'm not necessarily against. I don't think, like, somebody's asked me a question before about this. Like, they were like, "Oh yeah, do you think that the government should have control of a person's body?" And my response was no, And then they were like, oh, so we should do whatever we want to our bodies. And I was like, that also doesn't necessarily track. I don't think, and you could answer this yourself, do you think we should allow people who are mentally ill or suffering a panic attack to, let's say, commit S-side if we could stop them? Or would you let that person make a decision, right, in a unique position, right, where they're having a panic attack at the moment, but maybe in 20 minutes they'll regret their decision forever? But would you step in and stop that person? Would you violate their consent? What's your position on that?
I don't know that they're necessarily analogous.
I'm not saying they're analogous.
Oh, okay. So if your question is, would I stop somebody from?
I'm trying to gauge your perspective on intervention of consent.
I would probably try to prevent a suicide. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the reasonable take. Of course. Yeah. Again, everyone in the chat is going crazy. That has nothing to do with abortion, guys. This is totally separate, disconnected, non sequitur. I just want you guys to understand.
Are there any Trump supporters? Please request up, because like I don't. I don't want to have a philosophical discussion. It's just is he saying women don't have agency over our own choices?
That's not what I'm saying. Jeez. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you were a man and you tried to, God forbid, harm yourself, I think somebody should step in and stop you. I'm not saying that that's analogous to abortion.
I think what he's doing is he is testing the limits of the philosophy that people should have bodily autonomy. And in this case, I'm being so charitable just because I'm in a good mood. He's testing the limits of the argument that everyone should have bodily autonomy, because he's saying that, well, if somebody is having a mental episode or someone has a mental illness, would we just let them kill themselves? That's, I think, what he's saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I have no. If a woman is,
but you recognize that it's disanalogous to women having the right to make.
Yes, I've said that multiple times just to make it clear.
So you're good.
Yes.
Do you think that women should have the right to make this choice?
Yes, but I think that they can make a bad choice the same way a man can make a bad choice. That would be my understanding of it. I think you would be inclined to agree, hopefully.
Yeah, anyone can make bad choices.
Okay, so sure.
Basically, my question is not. You don't have to be pro abortion to be pro choice.
Absolutely,
you get that?
Yes.
Okay, so you are pro choice then. You just don't agree with abortion.
I wouldn't even go that far. It's subjective, depending on the circumstances. But yeah, again, like there are some circumstances where it's completely acceptable.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too, man.
I really hate when two men talk about that issue, like really a lot. Hi, welcome up.
What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing, just scrolling and watching y'all liberals crying over MAGA.
Okay.
I think it's crazy.
I mean, that makes sense, because most of MAGA voted because they want to hurt the people they don't like. In this case, liberals. They don't actually vote in their own best interest.
How can you say that?
Well, you voted for higher grocery prices. You voted for fewer rights.
We didn't vote for that, though.
No, you didn't? Okay. So Donald Trump promised to lower grocery prices on day one, but his tariffs are inflationary. Grocery prices have not come down. Before you say eggs, obviously, there was a spike during Trump's presidency, but they've come down since because of the bird flu. Other than eggs, all grocery prices are up.
They're not up since the election. They just haven't gone down.
So even if I granted that, which is not true for meat, by the way, meat is definitely up since the election. Even if I granted that means you admit that he lied. He said he was going to lower grocery prices day one, and he's not done that.
I mean, I guess you could look at it that way, or you could look at it as he started to do things to try to lower grocery prices on day one.
Okay, what has he started to do that? Yeah, and he's gone. Yep. Just as an FYI, everything he has done would increase grocery prices. Blanket tariffs unilaterally across all countries are inflationary and would increase grocery prices. Mass deportation would exacerbate the worker shortage in industries that affect grocery prices. Everything Donald Trump does is to increase grocery prices. Now, if MAGA just wants to admit that and say, I'm willing to pay more for my racism, then I get it. That's okay. I get that might not apply to the last guest because Mac, if you're still here, I don't think it'll happen, but thank you. Can you explain, please, why people dislike G. Newsom? He's the last line of defense for democracy. So Republicans don't like him because he's holding a mirror to Donald Trump. And once like a regular human that's not Trump talks and acts like Trump, it becomes clear that they've been supporting a madman. So that's why Republicans don't like him, and the far left doesn't like him because they don't want to win. They want to exacerbate all problems to hopefully lead to an armed revolution. Most people on the far left are very, very privileged and live in blue districts in blue states and don't have to suffer with the results of constantly losing elections. So that's why people don't like him. Right now, I am a fan of what he's doing. The fact that he is finally pushing back.
You talk about extreme.
Thank you, Hector. The fact that he's finally pushing back tangibly in regards to the redistricting to combat Republicans cheating is awesome. Whether or not I'll support him in the primaries, if he runs for president, we'll talk in 2027. But for now, anyone that is trying to push against Gavin Newsom from the left does not want to reduce any harm for anybody. Charlotte May, you chirp a lot in the comments, but yet you won't come up. What's going on? He's doing better than Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. 1,000%. 1,000%. As a reminder, Democrats put forth a bill that would end partisan gerrymandering. Republicans blocked the bill from even hitting the floor. This is back in 2021. Okay, so right there. Democrats said, we don't want this. This is not fair. Republicans said, no, we want it. It's unfair. Okay, so what this means is every Democrat right now, every single Democratic governor should gerrymander, not just 5 extra sheets, gerrymander so badly that Republicans are forced to ban gerrymandering. Democrats invented gerrymandering. That's not even true. What's his face? Something Jerry, I can't remember his first name, was a Democratic Republican. It's literally a party that doesn't exist anymore. It was called the Democratic Republicans. And even if it was true, Democrats, let's say, if in your world, Democrat invented it, then 100 years later, Democrats are like, oh, this is bad, let's get rid of it. And Republicans are like, no, we won't. And in fact, not only will we not, we'll use it, and we'll have complete smooth brains in TikTok chats saying that you guys invented it, even though we're making sure that it'll never go away. Come on, please, use a singular cell in your brain. 2021, the For the People Act would have banned partisan gerrymandering. Period. So Democrats are for ending it. That's it. We're done. We're done with Republicans having any high ground on literally anything. We tried to end partisan gerrymandering. We tried to stop funding Israel, or at least stop funding offensive weapons to Israel. For all you anti-Israel people, 27 Democratic senators voted to cut funding. Not a single Republican senator voted for that. FYI. Like, just look at the voting records, and it's so clear. 0 Democrats voted to cut Medicaid and Medicare. Every single Republican voted to cut Medicaid and Medicare, except Thomas Massie. Like, where are you guys coming from? As the Democrats left all our intel and equipment. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about Intel? Right. I forgot. You guys are for communism now because the United States government now owns a 10% share of a private company. Or excuse me, not a private company, but of a company. The government owns the means of production. You guys are okay with that, though, right? Just so we're clear. I just want to be clear. Just want to be clear where your actual ideals lie. Because I know the truth. Your ideals lie wherever Donald Trump tells you they lie. Period. You can't be back the blue, you can't be pro-police and then be okay with him pardoning people that assaulted police officers. You can't be for the rule of law and then vote for a felon. We actually have been right about everything. All you have to do to prove me wrong is just request up. Like, I know you guys don't understand it, but when you type in chat, I don't recognize you as a person, because you could be a Russian bot, you could be like you could be a hired. I hear people are saying that Trump hires people to talk on social media. People are saying. So all you have to do to prove me wrong, you said you're right about everything. It should be easy. Request up right here, right? See that button? It's going to be right next to the chat down there. You press the blue person, pink person button, you request up, and then you prove me wrong. And then all of a sudden, you know what? If you really are right about everything, then I'll be a Trump supporter, right? I want, please. My life would be so much better if you guys could convince me to be a Trump supporter. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging somebody, convince me to be a Trump supporter. Mark, you won't get muted if you come up here. Super easy problem to solve. Kylie, thanks you.
Obama.
Thank you, Kylie, so much. Mark, all you have to do is come up, and you won't get muted.
They're eating the dogs.
Thank you, Coffee.
Hello?
Hi, welcome up.
Hello.
Are you okay? Kelly, is everything all right? Do you want to share something with the class?
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, I am.
Genuinely, no.
Thank you, Steph.
Okay, I am MAGA,
Uh-huh.
and I do disagree.
Okay. So walk me through it. What do you guys write about? Convince me to be a Trump supporter.
Well, he is deporting all of the people that are Mexican. Well, not Mexican, but all the people that don't belong. Because if you want to be in this country, then you need to do it the right way. And if you can't follow that, then there should be no reason you are in our country.
Can you tell me about the right way? How do you do it the right way?
Well, you apply for a green card. It's very easy. So I don't get how you could mix it up.
Very easy.
Yeah. Well, the process, I would not say easy, but you can still get it if you try. And I just think that excuses as to why you're here illegally. And also, I'm pretty sure Trump is pro-life, which I absolutely agree with.
You say pro-white?
Pro.
Oh,
life.
life. Oh. Thank you, Steph. Yeah. Well, I mean, Trump. We can get into that in a bit. So, really quick, in regards to the right way, if doing it the right way was relevant here, then why is ICE arresting people at their immigration hearings? They are doing it the right way.
Well, obviously, if they're still in America, they should be in Mexico while they apply for the green card. And
I thought you said that it wasn't just Mexicans.
Well, obviously, but most of the time it is, because Only the Mexicans are doing it the wrong way, and that's why all the Mexicans are getting deported. And
Kelly,
I do get it, and I do know how it works. And all you guys saying, have I applied for a green card? I don't need to because I was born here, obviously.
well, hold on. Were your parents immigrants?
Yeah, no.
No.
Obviously not, or else I wouldn't be here. So
Would-
I live in America. My parents were born here too. So
Okay. What about their parents?
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, obviously yes, but if you're gonna start going back into the ancient times, where I mean, yeah, you're just like, and I'm not Native American. Thank you. I'm white. If you couldn't tell.
Don't boo, vote.
Can tell. Okay. So, I don't know how many glasses of wine you've had, but like this is going to be really embarrassing for you.
It's not. Trust me.
I mean, you specifically pointed out you singled out Mexicans multiple times, showing that
Well, I mean,
you don't actually care
I've
about
never seen
doing it the
one
right way. You
person
just
get deported that was Mexican, so you can tell me.
what? Say that again.
Have you seen a video of another person getting deported? I don't think so. So,
I mean,
no.
I don't know if you know this, but not every person with brown skin is Mexican.
Yeah, that's obviously fine. I mean,
How old are you?
I am 25.
5. Okay, so you don't think there's any people here illegally not from Mexico?
I mean, I don't think so.
Venezuela, El Salvador.
I mean, if you're outside from this country, then you should get a green card.
How can you explain to me how your life is better by deporting people?
Well, I mean, I never said it was better. Obviously, I do have some feelings in my heart for the people that get deported, but again, getting a citizenship or a green card should be the first thing you do before even coming to the country, because obviously they are not going to change it, so you should obviously just get everything that you need before you come to this country.
Okay, so you recognize that it doesn't actually improve your life in any way to deport these people, right?
I mean, it doesn't help me, but it doesn't matter. If you're not going to do it the right way, then why are you...
That's fine. I just want to see where you're coming from, right? So it's not about like your quality of life. It's about following the law, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why would you support a 34-time felon?
Well, well, I never said I supported him and all the, stuff that he's done, but I do support what he does. Not in that way.
Did you vote for him?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, so you support him. I don't know why you would just make that up.
I don't.
You voted for a
obviously-
felon. You don't actually care about the law. You've already revealed yourself that you just want to get the Mexicans out.
I never said that. I want to get everyone who doesn't have a
You said it twice. I'm sorry. Like I know you're not fully cognizant of where you are, but you said it twice. So yeah, you recognize that it doesn't actually help your life in any way to do mass deportations. So it's just the principle of the thing, but you don't care about the principle of the thing because you voted for a felon. So like I don't know how else to tell you that it sounds like you have racial bias, and maybe you need to like look inward as to why you fear people that don't look like you. But yeah, I hope you're only 25. You're so young to have this much hate in your heart. So I really hope you just make better choices. All right. We're going to go to the next guest. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights doing political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen, Those of you that have sent gifts or subbed, I really appreciate it. Nobody has to gift or sub. The only thing I'm asking is just you make sure that you're following. Next to my name, there should be a little follow button. It's like a red oval. You just hit that button. If it's not there, then you should be good to go. Now, if you must send a gift, the most cost-effective way to support the live, it's $0.015 a day for 1 coin, the little heart me. It's in the place where the follow button would be, or used to be before you started following. And yeah, you can only send one a day. It costs about $0.015. And it's good for the algorithm. We'll bring more guests, which will bring more debates. So, but again, nobody has to send anything. Just make sure you're following. Thank you all so much. And for those of you that are tapping, I really appreciate that. We're going to go to the next guest.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Ria.
So that was truly disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I interned for my congresswoman, and I've heard so many stories
Thanks, Obama.
of people whose family members are in ICE detention camps, and I've heard how they're losing weight, how they're not being treated, they're not being given their proper medicine, how they're injured, they're losing pounds and pounds of weight. It's honestly disgusting.
Yeah. And we don't talk about it enough, but like we still have people in CCOT that we're paying to have over there. They just opened the new one in Florida. What's it called? It's another fucking alliteration. Deportation Depot or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
It's even worse when you're hearing it from the family members, because I am one of the people who like picks up the calls, and it's just so inhumane how people are so supportive of this and how they don't see the exact parallels to Germany.
Mm-hmm. Scarlett, this is your final warning. Request up or get muted. I'm sorry, I am revoking your freedom of speech. Request up to prove the things that you're saying, or you no longer have the right to type in chat.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
I love
you,
those
Almond.
memes and those sounds. They're so funny.
Why the fuck are detention centers getting Fortnite names? Because like human life is like a joke to conservatives at this point. I'm still upset. It's been months. I'm still upset that the White House tweeted out that deportation ASMR. Thank you, Callie. The deportation ASMR, which was like the sound of shackles, and like anyone that saw that and enjoyed that, I genuinely think are not compatible with civilized society. They did that in January. Yeah, it was fucking wild. Update the likes board. Okay. Ria, thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you.
Did you already talk about the UFC fight at the White House? I haven't talked about any news. Honestly, I've been trying to avoid the news. For those of you that are in the Discord, like I've been going through it. I really don't want to like even look at the news because I just get more and more upset. Someone asked me to look at something just now and I forgot. Forgot what was asked of me. All right, y'all. Come one, come all. Liberals are buddy. You're delusional. Stop listening to MSNBC. Tyler, I want to be a Trump supporter. Convince me. Please come up and tell me what I'm wrong about. That's all I want to know. Please. Likes board. Oh, is it not updating? Thank you, Julios, Valerie, and Mike. Thank you for being the top 3 likers. Did I reset this? Is it not updating? I don't understand. This is... Yes, please. Okay. Setting it. I don't understand. This is all your dreams, right? To convince a beta liberal cuck to become a base Chad Trump supporter, right? Why aren't you guys requesting up? Here, I'll even get rid of the so you guys don't get triggered.
Turn off
that?
the lights. Turn off the lights.
Thank you, Brian. Wrong. What are you talking about? You have lost your mind. I can hear the denial in your voice. You're right. I'm in denial. Just convince me. I want to be a Trump supporter by the end of the night. Talk me into it. Request up. Why aren't you a Trump supporter, though? I just got here. Why aren't I? Oh, because there's literally no reason to be. Donald Trump's policies are horrible for America, and he's like a terrible person. But tonight's the night. Maybe somebody can explain to me why I should be a Trump supporter. Tell us why you are right. I mean, where do you want to go? So, first of all, Donald Trump has taken several steps that violate the Constitution. He passed an executive order that would have essentially superseded the 14th Amendment. Obviously, was challenged in court. He passed another executive order that goes against the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of protest. What else? Oh, he's manipulating and abusing the Alien Enemies Act in order to deport people that should have due process. Is also afforded by the 14th Amendment. So, like, if you're a fan of the Constitution, that should be a reason not to support Donald Trump. Hi, welcome
Try
up.
that MAGA shit. Try it.
Hi, welcome up. Thank you, Miles. Hello? Daniel? Daniel? Bueller? You know, if Dems did better, I would support you, but they did ridiculous things. What did they do, Dimitri? What was ridiculous? Talk to me. Request up. Request up. Right here. Look, there's right next to the chat. If you're MAGA and you're getting muted by the mods, it's because you're not requesting up. Okay? The chat is not for you. You have to request up and talk to me. How much sustainable is it for the federal courts to keep blocking Trump's horrible policies? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. So, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. All I want is for a Trump supporter to come up and convince me to be a Trump supporter, all right? I have been anti-Trump for 10 years now. I've been anti-Trump for 10 years. Tonight is the night to flip me, okay? I am disillusioned. All you have to do, press the little request button right next to chat, okay? You just press the little request button. Limited time only. You have to be a certain kind of person to still support Trump at this point. Yes, Angie, you have to be either a racist, a misogynist, a Nazi, or a pedophile, or some combination of the four. We have yet, in the past month, we have yet to come up with a single Trump supporter that hasn't fallen into at least one of those four categories within 5 questions. I mean, we just had somebody that within 30 seconds mentioned she wanted to get rid of the Mexicans. Can I join to convince you all parties are the same? Yes. But the moment a Trump supporter comes up, I will move on. Why? If you don't like Trump, who cares? Millions love Trump, even immigrants. Okay, great. Then go to a different live, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Hi, welcome up.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
I don't know why my face isn't on there. I don't know how to operate my camera. But yeah, I was. I don't know if you're aware of the longest study of legislation in history that covered 20 years of legislation from all parties done by Princeton. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, it proved unequivocally that every single member of Congress voted for every one law they passed for the public that we wanted. They passed 800 to 1200 for corporations, businesses, warmongers, war profiteering, oil companies, insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies. Like, it is a fact that political theater is a phrase for a reason. They come out and say to the public one thing, and then behind closed doors, all of Congress votes unanimously, and it's coordinated.
Wait, stop right there. All of Congress does
Yeah.
not vote unanimously. That does not happen. So you're wrong.
Like I said,
on that.
20-year study from Princeton, the largest study of
Let's look at the study.
legislation.
You know what the word unanimously means, right?
Hold on. They vote in a way that makes it appear that some of them are the resistance, and that is coordinated. Their goals always come to fruition, which is
okay. So,
you want me to cite the study?
are you? Yeah, we can look at the study. But I'm curious. What do you think about the Civil Rights Act? No, Denise. This guest isn't MAGA. They're just one of the people that think that the government controls everything, so they'd rather we just keep letting fascists win. He's one of the enlightened centrists, the high horse virtue signaling type. All right. Well, while he pulls up that study. A Chank lover? Maybe. That dude's lost his rocker lately. Is that too loud, chat? Apologies, everybody. Apologies.
Why are you running?
Thank you, Miles. That Hassan Democrats would do the same thing has destroyed many people's minds. Kamala would never. Hi, welcome up. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay, you got the study?
Yeah, but there's no point in talking to you. Only, like, why would you do that? I wasn't being rude or off-putting in any way, and you just started playing music. It's clear you're not really into
Jeopardy.
this.
The Jeopardy music
Why
triggered
are you
you?
running?
Yeah, you're just a rude kid, man. I'm
Wait,
gonna bounce.
wait. Everyone in the chat's waiting. I'm just gonna let them sit in silence.
Are you gonna keep playing music over me when I try to speak?
You weren't talking. You were tabbed out.
I was like,
no.
here's the thing,
Oh.
and you started playing the
Wait,
music.
Never. I'm so sorry. We can't hear you when you're tabbed out of the TikTok app. It was genuinely
I
nothing.
can't. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I have it pulled up in my phone. I was literally reading it today, but
No.
I can't look at it while
Wow.
I'm on this.
Yeah. No,
So, my bad. My
no problem.
technicality.
Yeah. If I
with
was playing the music
computer-
over you, that would be rude. I agree.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry. And this is something like, dude, I've watched our country split and been trying to show people this study, and no one cares about it. And it's like, it's unequivocal evidence that everything, they're just pulling the wool over all of our eyes.
Let's take a look at the study. We don't have a lot of guests today, so I will do a deep dive on this study. Let's look. Let's take a look. What's it called?
Okay,
Just give me what it's called, and then
I'll
pull it
it's literally, all I have is my phone, and it's on, I don't know how to do that because it's on my phone.
You said it was what college was it? Princeton or?
It's Princeton, and many
Princeton.
people refer to it as the study that's called "How You Know the Government Doesn't Care What You Think." If you type that into Google, it'll pop up.
Okay, let's see here.
I'm super excited that you're open to even looking at this because You know, I don't.
Oh my God! Wait, I remember seeing a video about this like back in 2008. This is from
2014. The study was.
Was it
done,
2014?
I believe.
Okay, I remember Obama was in office. 2014. Yeah, because Represent Us, like this. Hold on, let me open my
Yeah.
Chrome. Yeah. So I saw a video from these people, Represent Us, about that. Okay, so
It shook me to the core. I mean,
wait. Okay, so
1,200 laws to one.
where can I find this the study exactly though? Princeton. This is 2004. You said. Or you said it was
I think it's
2014.
2014. If you give me a moment to pause, I will like.
Yeah, just read what it's called and then come back.
Okay, I'll do my best, but it's a long title, and I don't have a great memory.
Okay.
So let
no
me
worries.
let me give me a second, and I'll take a screenshot of it with another device because, like I said, I'm just an artist, man. I'm not real good at all this technology stuff. But I do read a lot about legislation and where power is derived from and where inequality and unnecessary human suffering comes from. And I landed on this, and I was like, everybody needs to see this. So here, I'm gonna pause real quick, and I'll be right back.
All right. Perfect. Okay. I could find in the meantime. Princeton government representation study.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
All right, you can find it on princeton.edu, and it's called Inequality and the Democratic Responsiveness. Who gets what they want from government?
Okay, yeah, this is 2004, not 2014.
Yeah, you're right. 2004.
Okay, yeah. Because I could have swore I saw this in the 2008 like election cycle.
I honestly feel like this piece of information is the thing that could unify the country if everybody just like took a deep breath and acknowledged that like we are not getting what we want from anybody, and this is the reason.
Okay.
Because
I will read the findings. However, I do need to point out that things like the Civil Rights Act were passed by progressives.
Absolutely.
And it was voted against by conservatives.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read the findings here, and we'll see what we got. This is also, to be fair, is outdated by 20 years, right? Like, so if it were the case, so it could even be the case that in the past 20 years, Republicans have gotten so much worse that there is a difference in your eyes, even if everything in the study is correct. But we're going to read the findings.
Well, I look at the educational system, our healthcare system. Name a system that is not beyond corruption. Like every single system in government is so corrupted now. Like there's our infrastructure, everything. There's not one system that's doing its job right now.
Well, doing its job and corrupted are like a little bit different. There are government systems that do work.
Name one that's not hemorrhaging money at a rate that most people can't comprehend because they're not friends with a mathematician.
What do you mean by hemorrhaging money? The government is not a business.
The government does not generate any money technically. I mean, sometimes military inventions
They collect
generate
taxes.
money, and then they allocate money. They are a redistribution center for our hard-earned money. And when they pay $9,000 for a toilet roll dispenser remodeling a bathroom, someone's getting that money, and that money ends up back into a lobbying fund to push agendas.
Okay.
And that is the entire government.
All right. So where are they paying $9,000 for a toilet? Like, do you have examples of that?
There's at government.org, like there's tens of millions of examples of paying $900 for a hammer or $200 for a box of screws. I mean, every time they're like, oh, this aircraft carrier cost $200 billion. No, it didn't. It cost $100 billion. Then $100 billion got sent elsewhere to dark, shady corners of the earth.
All right.
I don't think people
all right. Let me
understand
read.
what
Let
a
me read the
billion
findings of the
dollars-
study, and then we'll
Okay.
do a deeper dive into that. Okay. So, raw correspondence between majority preferences and policy outcomes is one way to assess the relationship between preferences and policies, but consistency is a fairly crude measure which does not take into account the degree to which policy outcomes are influenced by the public's preferences. For example, a policy change opposed by 51% of the public and one opposed by 99% of the public would both be inconsistent with public preferences, but the latter clearly represents a greater failure of policy to reflect public preferences. More importantly, for my purposes, raw consistency is an inappropriate measure to use in comparing democratic responsiveness across population groups. Most proposed policy changes asked about in these survey questions did not occur. In my 1992 to 1998 data, only 29% of the proposed policy changes took place within the 4-year coding window at least. Consequently, if the majority of the population group X prefers policy change less often than population group Y, X will be, I don't know what this term means, but with other conditions remaining the same. Okay. Have higher consistency scores, but influence over policy outcomes is reflected in the degree to which policy change is more or less likely to occur, depending on whether or not members of that group support it. A group that opposes 90% of proposed policy changes will inevitably have a high consistency score, but if the probability of the change being implemented bears no relationship to the group's preferences, the group cannot be said to have influence over the policy outcomes. The weakness of raw consistency as a measure of policy influence is illustrated with a hypothetical example in the appendix. Okay.
Have you ever met anybody who wanted war?
Yes.
Well, they're a psychopath.
Well, okay. I'm going to give you an example. So
Wait, real quick. What happens at the end of every war? Two rich people who have a lot of power sit down at a table and sign a piece of paper at the end of every single war. Bunch of poor people die. Bunch of money is made by weapons manufacturers.
Okay, awesome. I believe it or not, it is not like it's not a hot take to be anti-war. I get it. Okay, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
but you just asked me a question. Have you ever met anyone that wanted war? Miles beat me to it. God damn! If you didn't go on that the monologue, I would have been able to. Okay. Anyway, yes.
Sorry.
And after 9/11, the majority of the country did want to go to war in Afghanistan to find Osama bin Laden. More than 50% of the country.
I did not pay my taxes for 9 years, and I held off the IRS because I was like, when that psychopath is out of office, I'll square up with you guys. You're right. Most people didn't because they don't understand how evil our government actually is.
Okay. So, yeah, the reality is, war, the thing that people don't want is unjust war.
Which is what that was.
And you can, if that's how you feel, that's fine. That's okay. I personally, looking back, obviously, I don't think we should have stayed there for however many years. But I think the idea of us just getting attacked by a terrorist organization and then an opposing government harboring that terrorist, I don't know. I like for us to just say, all right, well, y'all can keep doing that. That's okay. It seems a little weird to me.
You know what they call freedom fighters that work for America that quit taking orders? Terrorists.
Are you calling Osama bin Laden a freedom fighter?
Well, there's a lot of connections between him and the CIA and our government prior to that event happening.
Okay. Put this away a little too soon. All right. So back to the study. Has this been peer reviewed?
Oh yeah. It's factual.
It's factual.
My point is, whenever the government appears to do something good for us, so here, take for example, that horrible incident that just happened at that, I think it was a Catholic school, that shooting, right? So what was our government's response? Oh, they're going to allow an AI robot to basically scan all our data, and if you even say anything slightly remotely anti-government, that puts you on a watch list, which they already do, except now they're telling us about it.
Yeah, this is all
So,
conservative. You came up and said that there's no difference between the two parties, and you're just naming all bad things that conservatives do.
Oh, but the problem is the Democrats don't stop any of it.
How are they going to stop anything of it if they're in the minority?
That's what I keep referring to this study. The minority and majority is the theater. They are all on the same team, and all of them want one thing: money, power, control, and to keep their jobs.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How many votes? How many people are in the House of Representatives?
What is it? Is it 300?
No.
Is that it? I don't know what it is.
And how many senators are there?
Off the top of my head, like 100, something like that, or 256, or I don't know. What's your point?
I'm just
Because
trying to determine if you understand how the government works.
By discrediting that I don't know how many people are in what group.
Well, because my the question was going to be, how many votes do you need to get to pass anything in the House, and then how many votes do you need to get anything to pass anything in the Senate? But then I realized you probably don't even know how many people there are in the House.
Again,
and that's why I asked the question.
What bearing does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Oh, because
It's
everything is a
majority vote.
conspiracy when you don't know how anything works. That's the problem.
Well, all right, saying I don't know how something, off the top of my head, I don't know how many people are in it. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm super nervous because I don't do this very often, and I just wanted to share that piece of information. And in regards to that, am I very educated on the workings of military practices and foreign affairs? Absolutely. Like, there's areas that I study that I feel are far more relevant than the fake people in Congress and the House of
How
Representatives.
can you say that they're fake if you don't even know what they do?
Here, let me ask you a question. How much money is spent on lobbying Congress every year?
Billions of dollars, right? A lot.
$9 billion just from the pharmaceutical companies.
Awesome.
So there's parts of the government operations that you're not as educated as me in either. And this is where a lot of conversations break down, where people are like, well, what do you know? And if you don't know this, you can't know what you're talking about. And I'm saying a lot of that doesn't really matter when we're talking about the rights of the people and what actually comes out of the government.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, more taxes and less action.
I understand what you're saying, okay? I get it. But the problem is, if you don't know how things get passed, then how are you going to even judge that nothing is being passed in the way you want it to? That's why I pushed back when you said, well, yes, everything I'm talking about are all the negatives of the Republican Party, but the Democrats don't stop it. And then when I ask you, well, how are they going to stop it as a minority party? You had to pivot because you don't know. So,
well, weren't they in the majority for quite a while? Yes. And how many really great laws that everyone on which I'm doing rabbit quotes, on the left or more liberal or democratic people wanted? Nothing. We got another war.
When do you think the last time was that Democrats had a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate?
Oh, I'm not sure.
2009, for about 3 months.
Really? Is that really it? Like, do I have to look this up? Because one thing I do know, people will say anything to win an argument on TikTok.
You can look it up, but do you know what a filibuster is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like how Joe Biden filibustered the Civil Rights Act. That sort of thing.
Filibustered?
You know what I mean.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
No, you're good.
But that's what he did when the Civil Rights Act came. He stood up and tried to stop it.
Okay. So the House of Representatives, you didn't know, but you did get the Senate right. There's 100 senators. How many Senate votes do you need to pass a piece of legislation?
Educate me.
60.
Okay. So it's slightly more in majority, 60%. Okay.
Right. The The last time that the Democrats had those 60 votes was 2009, 3 months.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty messed up. Like, I would say Democrats are not represented in Washington. And from my view, I would say most conservatives and centrists, libertarians, don't have representation either. I don't think anyone's represented in Washington. None of the public. If you don't own it, here, I work for people who own airplanes privately, and some of them have a dozen houses all over the world. I work for very wealthy people. And those are the people who have representation. I've worked for, I can't say who I've worked for. I've worked for the former president and the former CEO of Intel. Those people have Obama's number on their phone. That's who's
What did you mean by Joe Biden filibustered the Civil Rights Act?
Like
he wasn't in Congress back then.
Or I don't know. I'd have to do some deep digging. Maybe I have something slightly off about that. But Joe Biden was not like I'm almost 50, and when I was younger, he was a constant source of ridicule on Saturday Night Live and the Johnny Carson show. Like, he was not a great human being back then. He was opposed to gay marriage. You know what I mean? So they say whatever the public wants to hear to keep them in power.
Wait, but it's not just, hold on, but it's not just saying whatever the public wants to hear. He literally passed an act that codified gay marriage.
Yep.
So it's not saying what the public wants to hear. It's also doing what the public wants.
How many years between, and this is, I don't want to get into splitting hairs, but yes, a human being named Joe Biden once opposed something, and then how many years later did he do it, and what was his role at his job then?
What was his role at his job then?
Yeah, what was he doing when that got passed? What was his job?
President of the United States?
Wait, what? You say he
so
passed...
the Supreme Court ruled during Obama's term.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to gay marriage.
So he was vice president.
Was he vice president? The bill that was passed that codified gay marriage. Hold on. It repealed Defense Against Marriage. What was it called? Respect for Marriage Act. Respect for Marriage Act.
Okay.
Yeah, he was president, chat. The Respect for Marriage Act.
Okay, why that's even an issue in Washington, I don't even understand. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's the whole problem. I recognize what you're saying is not wrong. Okay, we do need to get the large corporate money out of politics. However, you came up and said that the two parties are the same, and every single thing you've brought up is something that is a negative caused by the Conservative Party. So you just said, why is this an issue in Washington? Because of the Republican Party. Period. Point blank. The Republican Party is the reason this is an issue.
You really think that only the Republicans are doing this, though?
The Democrats passed the Democrats in 2022. This happened. This is a reality that you existed in 3 years ago. Okay. The Democrats passed a bill that made it so that even if the Supreme Court revisits Obergefell, which is what ended up happening, which is what's happening, by the way, even if the Supreme Court then overturns Obergefell, that bill would still protect the right for LGBTQ individuals to get married. Democrats did that. You concede. Democrats did that positive
fantastic. Thing. That's fantastic.
Okay, so the two parties are different.
They appear different except when they're voting on policy involving insurance and how much we're allowed to pay for drugs.
So now, all right. So I just need you to say with your chest, I don't care about civil rights. I just care about economic policy, because that's what you're telling everyone in chat, that you're privileged enough to not worry about stuff like that. I don't want to be antagonistic, but that's really what you're saying. You're saying, well, it appears like they're different, but not on insurance. Okay, so for the LGBTQ people in chat that either are married or want to get married, that is a big difference.
You're putting words in my mouth. I was literally I was born 30 seconds away from my mom's best friend's kid. He's gay. I've known a gay man for 50 years. I have been pro LGBT for longer than probably you've been alive, even when it was
Didn't
like
say that you were
frowned upon.
homophobic. Okay, you don't have to defend
No,
yourself.
I'm just saying, like, I do care about social issues as much as economic. My point is, when it comes to economic policy and completely screwing all of America, they all vote exactly the same.
We're gonna
And you're
okay.
right.
We'll
And-
get
and
to
hold
that.
on, wait, let me finish. Let me finish. When it comes to the social part, the Democrats vote more liberal and the Republicans vote more conservatively. Like Republicans
So
are into
different.
like free only in the social aspect.
Okay, so can you just admit, and then we could go to the economic, because I disagree with you about that too, but we don't do pivots without concession. So
Okay.
you just admit that the two parties are different in regards to civil rights and in regards to social issues.
With a caveat
What's the caveat?
that those issues are one. So they'll vote on one of those things, one social issue, and then both parties decide to vote pro on 800 to 1200 economic issues. When you
Listen,
see-
we'll get to talk about that. I just
Well,
need
hold
you
on.
to,
Hold
why
on,
is there a
wait, wait,
caveat? All I said was civil
Here's
rights,
why.
and social issues. That's all I
Sure.
said. Then we can move on
But-
to economic issues. My question was,
But when those things are 1/1200th of what their job is, they're
I love that number that you got from your 2004 study.
The same,
I-
one not the same. You know what I mean? Like
Again.
they're more similar than they're dissimilar. That's my
what you're
point.
showing. What you're showing your privilege here, because what you're saying is all of these issues, due process for immigrants, marriage for LGBTQ individuals, all this stuff. Yeah, I mean they are different, but it doesn't matter because they all vote the same on economic stuff.
I didn't say it didn't matter. I
Okay,
said
so
it
can
was
we
a
just say
very
without the
small
caveat?
fraction.
We will move on to the economic issues without the caveat. Just because I'm asking a very clear question. You agree that the two parties are different in regards to civil rights and social issues?
On that 1/1200th part of their voting job, yes.
Why
But
can't
it-
you just say yes? Why does there have to be a caveat? I said we were going to go on to the economic issues.
Yes, because I'm autistic and I grew up with a physicist, and numbers matter, percentages matter to me.
Okay.
Like saying that makes them radically different when 99% of their votes are in alignment seems like a disservice.
Okay. Well,
It seems illogical.
so I'm going to go back to that study real quick and see where you get this 1,200 number from, because
I think it's more than that. I try to. People don't even believe me when I tell them the actual number.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's wrong, right? Like it's just like incredibly wrong.
What do you mean?
So we could just look at the past 10 years, okay?
Okay.
And Democrats and Republicans have disagreed on more than they've agreed, which
Publicly.
no. Practically on the bills, the votes for the bills.
I know it looks that way.
It's not about what looks and what doesn't look, like what literally happens. When we have, okay, the repeal of Obamacare. Do you know how that went down?
Refresh my memory.
Okay, so it's 2017. One of Donald Trump's campaign promises is he's going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Okay, obviously we all know he's lying, or anyone with a brain knows he's lying about the replace part because he has concepts of a plan. He never had a plan. But the Republicans are voting to repeal it. Okay,
Okay.
every single Democrat votes against, and then you have 3 Republicans joining the Democrats to vote against.
Okay.
Okay, so in your universe, why did that happen? You're saying they all agreed about that?
I'm going to quote George Carlin that when a bunch of people have the same goal, they don't need to have secret meetings about it. All of their intentions align automatically. It's like just an unspoken thing. And
They didn't
I
have the
know
same
it-
goal.
I know it sounds crazy, but like no one retires from Washington poor in Congress or the House of Representatives. They all retire with tens of millions of dollars and they make not that much money. And it's been like that forever.
They make not that. All right. So first of all, they make not that much money is also kind of showing your privilege, because $174,000 a year is a lot of money, especially when this study that create that your whole philosophy on life, your political what's the word here, ideology is based on one study from 2004. But
oh no, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
it's based on 17 years of studying psychology and working for millionaires and billionaires for 30 years.
But you, why?
And
why didn't you spend any of those 17 years studying how policy is passed? It took you like about 2 hours. I'm just a bill video, and then go from there.
No, well, I said psychology.
Huh?
Like, cause like as I grew up through the world, I'm like, why is everything like it is?
Ronald Reagan usually is the answer.
Why is the whole world built upside down and backwards? Like, why are old people forgotten and children forgotten? Why do we have wars? All of these questions run through everybody's head at one time. And then, it led me down the path of psychology. That didn't answer really any questions, but greed and self-preservation and the fact that psychopaths exist and are drawn to positions of power that's a fact. Ask any psychologist.
Awesome. Great. Okay.
Yeah,
which
so
party is it that constantly gives those people more power?
Both, as far as I could tell.
That's the problem. As far as you can tell, because you're not paying attention. Okay. When we have one party that is trying to pass legislation that would remove this influence, we have and we have the opposite party that is cutting taxes on all the people you're talking about. You just haven't been paying attention. That's the problem.
Well,
you have this thought terminating philosophy that's just, both parties are the same, so that's it. Go through life not worrying about politics.
Okay, well, here's the other way I look at all of Washington. Until something passes, it's just theater. And that's a real good way to look at our government, because they like to rile up the public and have us arguing amongst each other.
So when the Democrats passed a bill that led to 40 million additional Americans having health insurance, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm going to be quite honest with you here, and don't get mad at me when I say this. It was equal parts of both. Would you like me to expand upon that?
Sure.
Okay. The government does not do anything that won't get their lobbyists tons of profits. What happened to the entire insurance industry? Everyone was...
Great. Are more people insured now or not?
Let me finish.
I'm tired of the monologues. Yes. Rich people get richer. I know. Let's eat the rich. We agree on that.
They could have
If you came up and your statement was rich people should have less power, I would agree 100%, and we have nothing to disagree on. You came up and said both parties are the same, and I'm like, this party right here is fighting for civil rights and the social issues that you say is 1/1200th of the situation, but you're wrong. You're just wrong about all of this stuff. You don't have the facts. Your entire ideology is based on a study from 2004, which I don't even think is entirely accurate, because I just read it and they said that they weren't using the raw numbers of the bills, like the actual number of bills that were passed. And so when I asked if it was peer reviewed, you said, yeah, it's factual. I don't see any evidence that it was peer reviewed.
If you spend about a week on the internet, you'll find a lot of people in Ivy League schools who have looked at that and like added additional information. Like it's never been negated, and people have done additional research on the numbers.
It's been negated every year since 2004. Every year it's being negated with our eyes, in front of our eyes.
Then why is so everything is a shit show solely because of the Republicans? Is that what your position?
Not solely, but ever since Ronald Reagan, things have gotten worse at an exponential rate in regards to a lot of things. So, if you'd like, I can walk you through how the parties have been different every year since 2004. And then maybe you'll be like, okay, I guess you're right. But it sounds like no matter what, if one party is helping and the other party is hurting, but both have people that are rich, you'd rather just let us keep getting hurt.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay, so you agree then, when the Democrats passed the Civil Rights Act, when the Democrats passed the Respect for Marriage Act, when the Democrats passed all of these things that have benefited the public, you agree that they were helping.
Absolutely.
Okay. And would you also agree that Republicans haven't passed anything positive since Eisenhower?
That is, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would have to, I mean,
Look into it and see how many times Democrats have pushed our country forward and how many times Republicans have tried to push us back. And we can't have the top versus bottom conversation when we have a left versus right. So the issue here, yes.
The only thing that I keep coming back to is when it comes to taking care of the public, they all ignore us equally.
You're wrong.
When it
You're,
comes-
you're simply wrong. I just explained to you 40 million additional Americans had access to health insurance because
Absolutely.
of the Affordable Care Act. So what you just said is that's wrong. You said
Okay, but then they also added it's not like they added a caveat that insurance companies couldn't just keep jacking up prices and denying people health care coverage with AI.
So
because
you're
they
admitting
do.
you're admitting that one party helps, one party hurts, but because they're not perfect, they're both the same.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying that the law wasn't perfect. So those 40 million people, I actually don't care that they got health insurance because the law wasn't perfect. Both parties are the same.
Whoa, breathe. You're putting.
I'm following your logic to the logical end.
You're not following it. You're finishing it incorrectly. I'm saying that, like, yes, the Republicans are fucking evil. Like, I'll agree with you on that. Okay, like, they're evil. The Democrats, and in a way, in the same way that the Democrats are evil, though. Like, the Democrats do not give a shit about gun rights. Do you know how many hunters I know who are, like, some of the most beautiful, loving people I've ever met in my life? Like, it's a real thing. That's a real
Can you tell me a single Democrat that has pushed to get rid of all guns?
Yeah, like every time there's a school shooting, they all come
I
out
said, can you name a single Democrat? This should be easy. You said Democrats don't give a shit about gun rights. Can you name a single Democrat that has pushed to get rid of all guns? No. So I'm glad you brought up guns because this is a very, very clear difference of the two parties. Very clear. One party is for common sense gun legislation, mandatory background checks, mandatory universal background checks, closing the gun show loophole, safe storage laws. The other party, red flag laws. The other party, nothing. No matter what, if 1,000 children get slaughtered, no matter what, nothing. Not a single thing. One piece of legislation is too much. That alone should be your sign that the two parties are different. In Texas, after Uvalde, when those children were decimated, they loosened gun regulations. They didn't just do nothing. They said, we want it to be worse next time. So you must agree. You must agree that Democrats and Republicans are very different parties. Yes, they're not perfect. Yes, they both are both pro corporation. You're right. But both parties are.
Wait. Okay, so right there, 90% of what I would say 95% of what they vote on is all corporate interest.
I would say you don't know. Every time I ask you about something, you don't know, and that's not a knock on you. It's just that if you don't know how anything works and you don't know any of the bills that are being passed, you're just taking this 2004 study's word for it. And
no, I'm not. Like, if you do more research, you will see, like, every year they pass a 7,000-page spending budget, and in that, for every one law that helps the public, there's thousands that don't. Do you know how many pages of tax law there
Wait,
was?
are they counting every individual thing in the spending budget?
No, they're not even reading it. No one reads that. It just gets passed. They argue about little bits and pieces. You know that.
Okay.
Like, so half of Congress comes out and is like, we got a 7,000-page bill 3 days before the vote. That happens every year.
Perfect. Okay. So
it's a horribly imperfect.
So you already agreed The parties are different on civil rights. The parties are different on gun rights. The parties are different on health insurance and universal health care. The parties are different on literally everything except, I guess, corporations. And even then, you have one party that wants to cut the corporate tax rate and another party that doesn't. They're different on everything. You're just wrong. It sucks to be wrong. I get it, but you're just incorrect about this. Like, if your argument was that we need to get money out of politics, everyone here would agree with you. But when you say that both parties are the same, you're just wrong. Like,
all right, scratch that I said that. They're the same on the here until you understand how many things they vote on. Like how many things do you think they vote on every year?
well, see, that's the thing. If the study is counting procedural votes, like recognizing the name of a sports team or something like that.
Additional studies have cited literal, like, the things that they're voting on, which are laws and policies. And those numbers are for every one thing they do that helps socially, they pass 800 to 1,200 that hurt us financially. So to me, that says a small sliver of what they do is different, but a giant, vast majority is exactly the same.
Okay,
So
I understand what
if
you're saying.
if
I understand what
look
you're saying. You're just wrong. You're just the problem is you're just wrong. Like,
but I'm not. Look around, brother.
I'm looking around. I'm looking around as I'm experiencing it with my own fucking eyeballs. Every day, the Republicans do something horrible. Every single day. And you're just like, yeah, but like the economy, you don't what you're doing is you want to absolve yourself of doing any kind of research. Because you just say both parties are the same, and then you don't have to worry about gun laws, you don't have to worry about the healthcare laws, you don't have to worry about the environment, you don't have to worry about tax law, you don't have to worry about tariffs, you don't have to worry about LGBTQ rights, you don't have to worry about any of that because both parties are the same. Just ignorance is bliss.
Don't be so angry. This isn't a fight. This is a conversation.
Well,
it goes from. Upset. I'm sorry if I'm upsetting you, but like I said, I keep going back to say, I said they were the same. But in my head, I was thinking of the vast majority of stuff that they agree upon, which is all financial stuff.
Okay, name one. Can you actually just name one financial thing that they agree on?
Unfair. Name a banking law or any practices around the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, perfect. The Dodd-Frank Act, the Dodd-Frank Act passed by Democrats. Most of it was rolled back by Republicans in Trump's first term. Thank you. Yeah, okay, I'm going to ask you one. Name one law that they both agree on that hurts the American people. Name one.
Well, they all sure like to be able to sit on boards where they have access to information trading stocks.
Is that the name of the law? That's really long. They all like to sit on boards with access to information law.
I'm not a lawyer. Like, I mean, I'm just a normal guy who's like, hey, it appears to me when you start researching, starting at that study I showed you, if you go down that rabbit hole, you will see that they align when it comes to war, screwing us on insurance, destroying the educational system, our infrastructure, our power. They give power to anyone that's not helpful.
Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes, but refresh my memory again. Like I said, I'm very nervous. I feel like I've upset you, and now I'm like all thrown off because, I said,
okay. So this is the Dunning-Kruger effect here. It's a little bit blurry. I'm trying to find one with less labels, but basically, the y-axis is confidence, the x-axis is competence. Okay, you are right here at the top. Okay, you know so little about the government, but are so confident in your positions.
Well, it's because I know different things than you about the government.
You don't know anything, actually. You don't know any laws. You said you're not a lawyer, right? So all the policies.
None of that really matters.
It matters to the people that are being affected. You don't care. That's the problem. You don't care about the 40 million Americans that got access to healthcare. You don't care about any of the LGBTQ individuals that got access to be able to marry their loved ones.
Let me stop you right there. My sister-in-law had cancer and got health care coverage for her cancer because that law went into effect. So
awesome. Did you vote for Barack Obama?
I did not vote.
Did you vote for Hillary Clinton to make sure that it wasn't repealed?
No, I don't.
Then you don't
I
care.
don't-
Like it's great. Like I know you love your sister, and that's awesome for her. But
Not that I
Donald
don't
Trump said,
care.
"I want to repeal the law that saved your sister," and you said both parties did the same and didn't vote.
That's not what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Donald Trump campaigned on repealing the law that saved your sister.
No,
and
you're
you chose
passing
not to
judgment
vote
and
against him.
You're passing judgment on me, thinking you know who I am. That's what's happening.
Okay. Do you
I'm
agree
a
with the
guy-
following? Do you agree with
I'm
the
a
following
guy
sentence?
who's worked. I've worked in Jeffrey Epstein's house 26 years ago. Like, you don't know the access I've had or the people I've spoken to behind closed doors. Like, people aren't even aware who actually runs the government. I know people who could phone the president. I know people who could phone 7 world leaders.
Name them. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm not naming people. Are you kidding? I sign NDAs. Like,
For Epstein?
the only reason I mention Epstein is he's dead. And everyone knows what was involved with him. Well, we don't. We'll never know, because those people run the government. And I'm saying so many people are worried about legislation, all this shit. Like, dude, we have billionaires who can phone up policymakers and make them change their mind with very little effort. And that, to me, seems like a much bigger problem than the difference between Republicans and Democrats when they all are sucking the bank's dicks.
Thank you.
That's my
That you
point.
can just say it with your chest. That's it. I don't care about all of the marginalized groups that are helped by the Democrats because
I do.
No, you don't. Because
Yes, I
you
do.
didn't vote against the people that are trying to take away those rights.
Because I know in the long haul, well,
You think. You don't know. You don't know anything. I asked you for a single bill in the past 40 years. You couldn't name one. Because you're not a lawyer. So
that's because I study how money flows into the government and how influence works.
who spends the
my
money in the
focus.
government?
What do you mean?
Like, how does money get spent?
All different kinds of ways. Lots of NGOs.
No.
lots
Like,
of-
how do we approve what gets spent?
through a giant spending bill.
How often do they pass that spending bill?
Every year. And it's huge and no one reads it, and tons of money is wasted at a rate. Like, I knew someone who their job was, they worked at the Defense Department in Columbus, Ohio. Their job was to monitor the money going in and out for the Air Force. Every dollar the Air Force spent came across my friend's desk. He was a very important man in Columbus. And I was like, who audits I was like, who audits the Navy? And he just started laughing. And I was, because I didn't know. This was like, dude, I was an artist and a musician. Until I met this guy, I didn't know anything about how government works.
Is
He
it
was like-
possible? Is it possible?
Wait, let me finish.
I just don't care. This is just anecdote. You don't know how the government works, bro. All you have is rich people or powerful. We all know. Yeah, but, oh, big fucking deal. Yes, we know that. Every single person, Republican, Democrat, knows
Why
rich
are
people are
you
powerful.
yelling at me?
I'm yelling. You are part of the reason why we're in the mess we are right now. You're part of the.
No, I'm not.
Yes. Yeah. You didn't vote because you think both parties are the same.
No, that's not why I didn't vote. I don't vote because I know no matter what we want, they're not going to do it. And the only reason they
Did
do
you
this
want? Did you want concentration camps?
when the last time
When
we had
would you have
those-
wanted it?
when the Japanese were in concentration camps.
Okay,
and-
so right now, we're Alligator Alcatraz and CCOT, right? Where we're sending people without due process to be tortured. Do you want that? Did you want that?
not particularly.
Not particularly. What? Why would that be difficult to answer?
Because I know people who use illegal immigrants and underpay them with threat of deportation, and I see people, large corporations, who use them as slaves. And I think it's a complicated.
You'd rather they be in concentration camps than working?
No, I'm not a black and white thinker like that. I think it's a very complicated issue that needs to be dealt with at a level far more sensitive than most people can admit it needs to be dealt with. Like, I employed a bunch of illegal immigrants. I paid them very well, and I tried to find a pathway to sponsor them because they were hyper skilled workers. And I was like, and I discovered through my research, there's no way to do that. I have no control, even if you want to know why? Because they're not white collar. If I had a analyst in Wall Street, sure, easy citizenship.
In one
But
part,
a master
you recognize that
craftsman,
you.
I can't.
In one call, in this one call, you admitted to not paying taxes for multiple years on end. You admitted to being associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and you admitted to employing illegal immigrants. Are you okay?
What do you mean? They're here. Lots of people employ illegal immigrants. Every roofer on the planet Earth, practically. Millions of them. And it's not cool. I paid mine more than most white people were making in the same field. Like a lot. I paid them a lot. And I tried to get them citizenship. There's no way to get them to, like, unless you were a white collar worker from another country, your boss cannot get you citizenship.
You tried to get them citizenship. Can you walk me through how? What were the steps that you took?
I talked to a lawyer. I talked to a naturalization lawyer or something.
You have.
Why are you doing that?
We have sound bites associated with the gift. So Gav sent a dinosaur gift.
Oh, okay. Like these are friends of mine that I spent a decade trying to help. Found out you can't.
Thank you, High School. Thank you, Miles.
And it really made me upset. And upon doing that, I also worked for a company who I found out was underpaying 45 guys.
Awesome. Do you think those illegal immigrants that you employed would be better off in a concentration camp?
No, I think they'd be better off citizens. But
awesome.
No way
then why did you not vote for Kamala Harris?
For Kamala Harris?
The opponent of Donald Trump.
Because she didn't seem like... Here, let me ask you a question. Do you really think she was a competent person? Because I don't think either one of them was. I mean, I was like, shoot yourself.
How was she incompetent? Give me one example. Give me one example of her being incompetent.
I don't know. I watched every speech she ever gave, and she does not appear to be a very intelligent human being.
What did she say that made her look unintelligent? Give me one example.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. Don't stall. Go ahead. Give me one example.
Ask if you're gaslighting me right now.
Give me one example of Kamala Harris being unintelligent. One.
The 35 times that... If I give you an example, you're just going to attack me.
You don't have an example. You don't have an example. I can give you examples of Donald Trump being incompetent.
Sure, and I can give you examples of her being incompetent. She had word salad as bad as Trump.
I'm asking for one singular example. Just one.
Name one time her last interview that was edited so she didn't look like a moron.
Okay, what did she say in that what did she say in that interview that made her look incompetent? Give me an example.
This is the ultimate form that both sides gaslight each other.
You don't have an example. Okay, yeah, your entire worldview is built on vibes and feelings and a study you read from 2004. You don't have an example because you just believed what people said. People said word salad, and you're like, yeah, word salad. Either that or you
literally watched all of her. Dude, it's not like I have a hard drive in my brain, kid. I don't. I can't and this is making me very nervous. You seem very upset and aggravated.
I am upset. Yes. I am upset because you openly said that Obamacare was able to pay for your sister's cancer treatment, and then you didn't vote for Hillary Clinton when Donald Trump said, "I want to get rid of Obamacare." That upsets me because it shows
Hillary Clinton was she's kind of an evil person. She was involved with the killing of the leader of Libya, who's doing a great job. Said a lot of horrible shit about a guy that wasn't true.
This guy stinks.
Wait, I'm not defending Hillary Clinton and her actions. Just one second. How was I'm not defending her actions as Secretary of State. I want to ask you. Thank you, Falcon.
I should have voted for
murderer. How was the leader of Libya doing a good job? Can you explain?
Oh, brother, this guy.
Thank you. Thank you, Viv.
All right. Here, all healthcare was free. If you wanted to be a farmer, they'd buy you land, give you all the resources to do it. If you wanted to go to a school in America, they'd pay for it. Women were wearing short skirts, and there was women's lib in the 70s. And then the second they wanted to get off the gold standard, what did she do? She was head of the State Department. Fucking center guy's over there, he's dead. And that's what they do every single time someone wants to get off the gold standard. Republicans and Democrats together. They're like, kill them, nuke them, let's get in war. So they seem the same to me when it comes to almost everything. And yes, they do pass civil rights stuff, and every good law that they pass comes with a bunch of horrible shit that fucking screws us 75 different ways. Every single law that they pass that's positive for the public, there's 75 horrible things attached to it.
Civil
And you know
Rights Act.
exactly
What are the?
what
Can you name any horrible thing about the Civil Rights Act?
Can you name every single thing that was in that bill? I doubt it.
So you're
So
not
don't
going to answer my
ask me
question.
for facts if you can't.
You're the
answer
one
them
making the
yourself.
claim. You're saying that
The
every
burden
bill.
of proof is on both of us, buddy. We're not at war with each other. I'm on your side. You're on.
You're
my
not.
side.
You're not. You didn't help when a wannabe
I
dictator
didn't help?
when a wannabe
I didn't
dictator
help?
yes
Excuse
you
me?
didn't when a
Whoa,
wannabe
whoa,
dictator
whoa.
said that he wanted to take my rights away. You said I don't care because
What rights?
what rights?
What are you talking about? What dictator? First of all,
Donald John Trump.
well, he's not a dictator. Doesn't meet any
I
of
said
the
wannabe
criteria
dictator.
for being a
Just so we're clear, I
dictator.
said wannabe dictator.
Okay.
But, okay, so when Donald Trump wanted to
Even
make it
that's
so
a-
that
Sorry, that's a kind of a crazy statement.
okay, so
I-
right now, prior to Donald Trump, okay, I had the right to protest as I saw fit. I no longer have that right, and I'm just using I because it seems like that's the only thing that would affect you by me talking about myself. Because when I talked about the LGBTQ community, you said, "Well, I have gay friends" or whatever. You didn't care that there's one party that wanted those people not to have the same rights as us, and like right now, just right here, one thing, just one example. So trans individuals served in the Air Force for 15 plus years are not going to get their retirement benefits, and they're forced out of the Air Force because of Donald Trump.
Okay.
That would not have happened if Kamala Harris was president. So when
Probably
you-
not.
Yeah. So when you didn't vote, that shows me that you don't care that much about the trans. Don't care that much about.
Whoa, that's called oh god, hold on. That's called conflation. Just because I didn't vote for Kamala does not mean I don't care about the trans community. That's ridiculous. You're not allowed to say that to me. Sorry, I got to call you on that.
Okay.
You're making connections that aren't real,
Can I
and
ask you a
you're
question
making me
real
out to
quick?
sound like a bad person.
You are a bad person.
No, I'm not.
You've been up here before, haven't you?
Up where?
In Dan's box. If I remember correctly, you told us a story about a mother and a daughter that you picked up that were Colombian.
That's
No,
this
that's-
guy? No.
No, that's
I'm
not.
about I'm about 99% sure it is because he came.
Well,
remember,
I'm
he had a bunch of
100%
bullshit
sure you're
stories.
wrong. That's not me.
I mean, we can go find the clip, but
Go ahead. I'll pay you $1,000 if you can find a clip of me saying that I picked up a Colombian mother.
I don't think it's the same person, but
Yeah.
either way, but you are a bad person because you're able to just wash your hands of all the horror around you.
What are you talking about? No, I'm not. What are you talking about? You first off, you don't know me, period. So you cannot.
I've
say
learned a
that
lot
I'm
about you in
horrible
the past
person.
hour that you've been up here. I've learned a lot about you, and based on
What
what
have
I've
you
learned,
learned about? Name one thing you've learned about.
I've learned that you have strong opinions about things that you don't understand. That
No, I
you
don't. No, I absolutely don't. I have this thing that I wanted to share with you that proves that these people align.
it doesn't
more than
prove
they
it
don't.
because we're living in disproof right now. It's whatever
I said it proves that they align more than they don't.
And
You
I'm
keep
telling
making
you,
the-
every
the
day
huge
we
thing.
exist on this earth is disproof of your claim. The problem is you don't know how anything passes. You don't know any of the laws. You don't know anything anyone said. You just don't
And
know
you
any
don't
of
know
this.
any of the bills that they passed. You don't know.
Oh, yes, I
what's
do.
inside of
I
the
named so
fucking-
many of them. You couldn't name one.
Na-
I named the Civil Rights Act, the Respect for Marriage Act.
Relax. Now, tell me all the additional pieces of legislation that were attached to the Gay Marriage Act. Go ahead. Do you know how many?
Do you want to read it
pages
right now? Wait, I'm sorry. If I read it right now, and there is nothing negative about it, all it is it makes it a federally
Oh
presented.
no, it came in a pack of other things.
No. And if we read it right now, and it actually didn't come in a pack of other things, and it's just about that. Will you admit that you just pull shit out of your ass? You need to absolve yourself of any kind of thought or any kind of research. You need both parties to be the same.
I don't need them to be the same.
Okay,
like
perfect.
I said,
So you admit, so you
like
agree
I
then.
said, but no, you're cutting me off. Like I said, they are not. All right, I said, forget that I said they are exactly the same. My whole position is that 90% of what they vote on, they align. And most of that stuff screws everybody.
Okay,
equally.
we're just gonna read the bill. It's a very short bill. We're gonna read the whole thing, and what I'm gonna hear from you at the end
Oh,
is
no. What did it come with? What did they have to
Yes,
vote on
I'm going
get
to-
it stuck inside.
I'm gonna read
That's
the
what
whole
he's
bill.
gonna read to you.
I don't even know if it had other things attached to it.
I
just
know. I
that's
definitely know
what
because you don't know any piece of legislation. Period. You don't know anything about the government. But I'm going to prove it to you right now that you're wrong. I'm just going to prove it to you. We're going to read the whole thing. Okay.
You sure?
So this bill right here, you asked me specifically what was added to this bill to get it to pass. What are the negatives for the American people? So when I read this to you, and there are no negatives, and it's actually just positives for the LGBTQ community, you must then say, okay, I was wrong. Right?
I don't have a problem admitting I was wrong. I also
Okay.
didn't say that I knew that factually there was a bunch of shit added to it. I was asking you if you knew what came with it.
No, you said
So
you
if
don't
wanna be
even know what
specific-
came with it.
If you want to be specific and call me out on stuff, you have to listen because that's what I said. I didn't say that there was something attached to it. I asked you if you knew what came with
That's
it.
the fucking problem. It's you're assuming that that all of these bills must be agreed upon by both parties because there's going to be some positives, some negatives in all the bills because they always shove shit in. You're assuming all of that with no basis in fact because you haven't followed politics probably since that study in 2004. I've asked you to name any piece of legislation that both parties agreed on. I've asked you to, other than spending bills, which you obviously also wouldn't be able to name certain things that are in there, but all of these bills that show that the two parties are different, you don't know anything about them. And when I point out a specific one, you assume, well, there must be something negative in it. You said 90+% of stuff they agree on. So if I show you the past 10 bills, we go through the past 10 bills that were passed in Congress, and I show you that they didn't agree on a single one of them, then your 90% drops to 0%, right?
Wait, say that again?
If we go through the last 10 bills that passed Congress, and the parties disagreed on all
No,
of them.
10 wouldn't be enough. You'd have to do like 1,000. That's, I mean, I grew up with a physicist. 10 is not a good representation of the government. Like, if you do 1,000,
many bills
then I would be like, yeah, sure.
were passed by Congress.
Has anyone seen the goalpost? Because it's in hell, I think, at this point.
Okay. So, what you were asking for is to go through all procedural votes. Because otherwise, we're not going to be anywhere near 1,000. We have to go back decades to get to 1,000.
Of all legislation?
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
want-
they've passed 70,000 tax laws in the past 200 years. Just tax laws alone. There's millions of tax laws by now. Like, so no, like that's what I'm talking about. It's all the little
Okay,
tiny
so you're
things.
counting
No
every
one's
line
counting.
item in the budgets.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's important.
The dumbest study I've ever heard in my life, my guy.
What's that?
You want to say that 90% of the time that they agree, you're talking about tax line items are included in this data set? We can't just do, I don't know, the last 100 actual pieces of legislature. You want to go line by line?
Yeah, that was my whole point from when I first jumped on. Like when you look at it in totality,
Okay, prove it.
they agree more than they don't.
Okay, so since you know the data set you want to use, prove it.
I am not a computer.
You don't need to be, honey. None of us are.
Well,
You're the one making the claim, right? So you're telling us this data set exists, it's 90%. Usually when someone makes a claim like that, you have a way to back it up. You could at least tell us where you saw it, the name of the article, when you read it. Like,
yeah, and if this was a collegiate debate, which I was,
we're not. We're having a debate
if
on
this
the
was
internet.
a collegiate debate, I would
I'm
have
asking
been
you
way
for your
more
source.
prepared.
No,
I
you
thought
don't
this
need to
was
be
a friendly
prepared.
conversation. Yes,
You're
you do.
making a
How old are you,
claim.
14?
You're making a
Are you
claim,
what-
and I'm asking
did you
for
go to
any
college?
inclination. Yes, I did.
You-
Any
what college?
inclination that there is a source.
What college? Did you ever debate?
Why
Oh
would I
my
go to
God.
college for? Oh my God. Why would I
No,
go to
I'm
college
asking
for
you a
debate?
question. Like you think like people just like have like, like
Connected
You
brain
should
cells?
have. Okay. Yes. No one is
I
asking
was
you.
not prepared for this. I came.
No,
on
we
the
know
air.
you're barely prepared to cross the street because you don't know. Your entire philosophy is not dictated on reality. It's dictated on what you'd like it to be.
No, it's not. It's dictated by all of the.
I asked you for one example. When you said Kamala
Harris.
Harris was not intelligent, I asked you for one example, and you couldn't provide one.
That's because I was overwhelmed with every single time she ever spoke.
Okay,
she
take your time.
sounded
I'll give you
like a
2 minutes to
knucklehead.
calm yourself, to collect your chakras. Take 2 minutes and provide me with a single example of Kamala being unintelligent, and then we'll go back to the policy debate.
Type in word salad to TikTok in those
Oh,
500 videos of every
buzzwords,
time
my
she
guy.
speeches.
Just give us
Just
an
like you
example.
could do with, just like you could do with Trump.
No, I don't need to type anything with Trump. I know the times that Donald Trump has said things that are unintelligent. I know that when
All
he
right,
said that
recite
he
one.
lowered prescription prices by 1,500%. I got that right there. Boom, 1,500%. You can't lower prices by 1,500%. That's not how numbers work. But you have nothing for Kamala Harris, even though that was your reason for not voting. I asked you a direct question. Are you for or against concentration camps? And for some reason, you equivocated on the answer. You were like, well, it depends or whatever. But then finally, you were like, oh, it's probably better off that the illegal immigrants that you employed, which you admitted to, the
they're
illegal
not
immigrants that you
concent-
employed,
they're
it's
not
probably better off.
concentration camps, first of all. They're detainment centers or whatever. And Barack Obama did build them exactly the same.
Barack Obama
So-
did not build Alcatraz. Barack Obama did not pay the country of El Salvador to hold people indefinitely without due process. That's a lie. That's a lie.
I didn't say anything about Venezuela. You did.
I didn't say Venezuela. I said El Salvador.
Or El Salvador. I didn't bring that up. I'm
I'm
saying
bringing it up. Wait, you don't know anything about El Salvador. You don't know what's happening in this country right now. You don't know.
Obama also
Our country. Shut the
deported
fuck up.
more
Shut the
people
actual
than
fucks up.
Trump.
This is not a conversation anymore. This is me disciplining a child because that's what you are. Your ideology is that of a child. Right now, you don't know this, but we are paying American taxpayer dollars to take people based on the color of their skin without due process and ship them to a mega prison in El Salvador. We're paying the country of El Salvador to hold them there indefinitely. Okay? If you don't want to call it a concentration camp, that's fine. But that happened and would not have happened if Kamala Harris won the election. Okay? Period. You want to say the two parties are the same? That you can say that because it makes you feel good on the inside. Oh, I'm above all of this. I'm above, but you don't know anything. You don't know how many members are in the House. You don't know how many votes it takes to pass a bill. You can't even name a single bill in the past 40 years. You couldn't name one. You don't know anything. That's what I've determined. We've been talking for almost 2 hours now. What I've determined, you don't know anything about what you're talking about. You just want to be right. And I understand it feels good to say, oh, well, both parties are the same. I'm an independent thinker. Oh, the rich people can have the high influence. It feels good, yes. But for the people that you claim to care about, I have gay friends and I have a sister who had cancer. The people that you claim to care about, your actions don't show that you care about those people. Because when the opportunity comes that a Republican says, I'm going to take away rights from the LGBTQ community, I'm going to take away the ability for future sisters with cancer to be treated, you said, both parties are the same and moved on with your life. You don't care about the sick. You don't care about the poor. You don't care about marginalized groups. You only care about your vibes and feelings. I hope you have the life you deserve.
Dan, you should go read live chat real quick. His page is insane. Like it's bad. That's all I came up here to say. But I'm sorry you had to deal with him because that guy is not. Like his page, I should have checked his page earlier because like the farther you scroll, the worse it gets. Like worse than anything he set up here, honestly.
We didn't get to ask him. I'm curious because he said he was autistic. How does he feel about RFK wanting to put all the people like him in camps?
That's a good question.
He'd probably say he's high functioning enough not to get put in the camp.
Oh wait, he's back. Ask him the question now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, all right. What do you feel about RFK wanting to put you in a camp?
I will talk to you guys if you promise not to get so angry and violent.
Bro, it's the internet. Just
Like, you went on a long rant
I understand.
of just insulting me and being mad.
Okay.
And
I'm calm. I'm calm.
several
I promise.
times
I promise.
was like,
I promise.
I'm autistic. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have a hard drive. And you, whoever that girl was, you were mean too. I'm someone coming to you guys willing to talk about stuff calmly, and you guys both lost your
I promise I won't be mean. I promise I won't be mean. I'm sorry for being mean. Okay. I'm sorry to upset your feelings. Okay.
apology accepted.
How do you feel about RFK wanting to put you in a camp?
Ooh, hang him. Yeah. I think autistic people are beautiful, beautiful creatures. My daughter's autistic. Like, I think he's crazy. I think autistic people are the unbroken people.
Perfect. So,
you know, I am a huge supporter of LGBTQ.
So that
you
sounds
guys
to me
know my family, like, dude, I am a giant sweetheart trying to understand why the government is so fucked up.
Yes, you're a great person.
And I looked at their policy on how we're all screwed financially.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. We heard it.
Here's
we heard
one.
It. No, I just have one question for you. I have one question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to prevent RFK, you said hang him, right? If you want to prevent him from putting you and your daughter into a camp, there is a midterm election coming up in 2026 that would restrict his power. Are you going to vote in it?
I don't know.
Yeah, eat shit. You're not going to vote in it because whenever presented, you've been presented with these decisions multiple times. You said you're in your 50s. You've been presented with these positions to protect those you love, and you keep choosing not to. It's happened over and over and over again. Okay? It happened with the repeal of Obamacare, which would throw millions of Americans off of their health care. And you even admitted that your sister had cancer and was treated because of Obamacare. You were willing to not do anything when Donald Trump threatened to remove trans people from the military, because he already did it in his first term. When we have $215 million of ads ran against the trans community, you claim you care about LGBTQ people, but you had the opportunity to protect these people and you didn't. You chose not to.
even when it's sitting on his doorstep.
Angelium, thank you so much for coming up.
Love you.
Thank you for letting me up.
He sounds like a person who is trying to confuse people to make them not vote, not working here. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's so clear that it's so clear what type of person this is. This is a person who would rather be right than actually help those that he claims to care about. That's it. He wants to be privileges, an understatement. By the way, this is a person that admitted that he didn't pay his taxes for like 10 years to protest the war in Afghanistan. He admitted that he used to work for Epstein and claimed that he knows a bunch of billionaires that control the government, but can't talk about any of them. But he can talk about Epstein because Epstein's dead. But he studied, yeah. Chaos agent. He admitted to employing illegal immigrants, as he said. And then when I asked him, do you think they'd be better off in concentration camps? And he said, no, they'd be better off as citizens. And I said, well, then why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris? He said, well, she didn't sound intelligent. Bro, eat shit. You were abusive. Every time you allow the fascists to win, you are abusing us. You said that my speech was violent. If you think me talking fast and angry at you is violent, wait until you see what political violence looks like. Because we have masked agents that do not identify themselves, disappearing people off the streets. No due process, shipped off to another country. That's violence. And you could have chose to vote against that happening, and you didn't. You didn't because it sounds like you're a misogynist as well, other than the absolute peak of Dunning-Kruger. Like Dunning and Kruger are afraid when you walk into a room. Like you're the peak, the absolute, the most confident and the least knowledgeable about how the government works. All right, we're gonna go to the next guest. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights doing live political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Thank you all so much. We're going to go to our next guest now. Thank you, Volk.
Hello?
Hi, welcome up.
Hi. If you want convincing, I think that last guy is a prime example of why you should be, because when you don't have an original thought on your own, things are so much less stressful for you. I mean, these concentration camps, all these things, if you just don't care, then you don't get all the gray hairs you just got talking to that guy.
Never Rodin. I don't know why you're using your autism as a shield. Autistic people are capable of feeling empathy. You are not. All right? So if you go over and over, and I give you examples, I'm like, this is how the Democratic Party has helped marginalized groups, and then the other party is trying to hurt them, and you hear that 4, 5, 6 times, and you say, I don't care, then I'm going to walk you through the logic. Maybe the autism is preventing you from connecting A to B. Maybe. So I'll walk you through it. When you could do something to prevent harm to a community you care about, but don't, it kind of sounds like you don't care about that community. I never said I don't care. Your actions show. Actions speak louder than words, never. Actions speak louder than words. Okay? Your actions show you don't give a flying fuck. Anyway. Thank you, Ben. I'm guessing you. I think I missed it there, but you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I was just being ironic.
Yeah, I that's what I figured. All right, man. Thank you so much. Dan Malik and Dean Withers collab soon. I'd be down. Can we please have him explain his post on TikTok? Okay. Women are just as dangerous as men. What? Wait, hold on. Wait. I'll bring him back up so he can explain this. Hold on. You got some explaining to do.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's talk about your TikTok.
Why?
Why do you repost such horrible things?
What did I post that was horrible?
Hold on.
I don't think I've reposted anything.
If
I did, it was an accident.
Well, I guess what you posted. Never
Never odd or even. It's a palindrome.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, and I didn't mean to upset you, and I really didn't.
Can you just tell me what you're at? The actual at? I can go to your page.
I'm kind of afraid because I feel like the way that you represented me.
I'll just scroll up.
I don't want to get attacked or anything.
You're
welcome to scroll through my stuff.
Never odd or even. Maybe next time I'll win. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna scroll through this stuff real quick. Because people in chat wanted you to explain some of it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so first off, I mean, this one bothers me in particular because it feeds into the idea that common sense gun legislation wouldn't save lives.
Where does it say anything about legislation on there?
So when you're implying...
That's implying something. That's implying intention, which you don't know.
Okay, why did you share this? What was the point of posting this?
Because I study psychology, and anyone who commits murder is mentally ill. It's a fact.
Do you think that we should maybe restrict the ability for mentally ill people to get guns?
I'm not sure.
So that's
And that is not saying that I don't think that this is a problem. That's saying I think it's a complicated issue. Like if I could push a button and make all guns vanish, I would, but that's not possible. So now what do we do?
okay. So
I know that there's probably upwards of 400 million guns in the world. And again, I grew up with a physicist. The numbers say that there's the vast majority of people are like, they're good gun owners. They
why
don't-
can you just tell me what the reason is for posting this? When we say things, we have a reason, right? Your reason
because I think blaming guns, like focusing on gun control when something like this happens, when we don't here, I'll tell you a story. And I'm sorry to use anecdotes, but at one point in my life, I was very suicidal, and I was thinking about causing harm to people because I was working for people around Epstein, and I was trying to find medical help. But if you go to a psychologist and say, I feel like harming myself or someone else, they put you in jail. So what did I do? I moved to hold on, stop playing my stuff for a second. So I moved to the woods in Oregon to find peace and to like recenter myself because I was very angry with the world, watching these billionaires hurt everybody.
That's a damn lie.
And so I posted that because I think that when people focus on the gun rather than the lack of resources for people who are struggling in the world, it does a disservice to the actual problem. Like, does that make sense?
Okay, so when one party is pushing to defund mental health care, wouldn't you say that they're pushing again? They're exacerbating the problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
But it hasn't been done yet. So as of right now, all of that is theater to me until
What
a law
hasn't
is
been?
passed.
Wait. Yes, it literally has.
Wait, what? So they passed a law doing what?
So the big beautiful
piece of
bill
legislation?
would defund the amount of money that we send to hospitals.
And that all passed
And so-
already?
yes, the big beautiful bill was passed only by Republicans. Not a single Democrat voted for it.
Oh yeah, that's super horrible.
Okay. Cool. So,
I mean, you can ask me a million social questions. Odds are you and I align 100%. I'm all for caring for people. I think our military should basically be eradicated and all the money should go towards like kids, old people, and mental health and healthcare.
can you explain this one?
That's my stance.
Explain this one. Women, how does this world affect me? Men, how do I affect this world? That's the difference. Once you realize this, it all makes sense. Explain that one.
That is, I'll admit, that's a horrible generalization, but studying psychology, the I have to be careful with what I say because I know you're, I don't know you, but I'm going to take it you're very liberal.
I'd call myself progressive, but sure.
Okay, progressive. I am just someone who tries to understand psychology and people's intent on why they make the decisions they do, and that is a observation that I've made for the thousands of people I've met through art school, through my business, through work. That is how men and women tend to view the world. Now, that's a generalization. That is not everyone. I'd say that's 85%.
Okay. So in your view, based on 85% of the people you've met, you feel that women are more selfish than men.
I didn't say that.
That's kind of what your post says?
It's kind of what it says, but what it says is, how does the world affect me? That's exactly what it says.
You said you study psychology. Can you name like a book you read?
What do you mean? Like studying
Like
psychology?
those rectangles with pieces of paper in them?
I mean, I've read all kinds of weird stuff. And again, I'm very nervous because I don't ever do this. So I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I've read countless studies from journals, and clearly I'm on Princeton's website. Like I watch a lot of collegiate lectures. My best friend for the last 17 years is an NLP therapist. That's where a lot of my training and insight comes from. I have multiple friends that are
training. Did you just say training?
I consider learning training when you're like being taught something from a professional. Yeah. So another good friend of mine is a psychiatrist at a maximum security prison. And these are people who I regularly have 3 to 5 hour long conversations about the nature of thought in humans. It's a pastime I have. Like, can I cite people? I'm not real good at that. That's not, something I do.
We talk about this one. Can't wait for another movie about a bitchy, self-absorbed woman with loads of unmanaged trauma meeting a guy way out of her league that finds all her psychotic behaviors charming and falls for her.
Yeah, that's just me making fun of Lifetime movies. Probably shouldn't have posted that, but wasn't trying to be a dick. Kind of sound like a dick. I should probably delete that. But it's literally just me making fun of Lifetime movies. I'll admit that's a little off-putting. I'll probably take that down, but wasn't meant to like. I'm not a chauvinist. I'm not a misogynist. But I do have a pretty crass sense of humor. I'll admit that. Like Norm Macdonald's my hero.
Please don't bring Norm Macdonald into this.
Why? He's awesome.
Well, Norm Macdonald. Okay.
The comedian.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about. It's just the idea of you bringing up comedians and then these are your jokes.
Like
that's so this right here. Oh, this is a perfect one. Okay. So this one was posted to throw doubt on climate change, right?
What does it say? I don't have my glasses on. Read exactly what it says verbatim.
Or it's covered. Okay. Find. I can't tell what that says.
Something about how water levels aren't really changing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Those are real photos of an actual yeah, it's like the water. Yeah, dude, do I believe in climate change and anti-pollution laws? Absolutely. Do I think that the oceans are going to cover New York like they said my entire childhood? No, I don't. Because they're not. I mean, but
have you researched, have you actually done any research into low-lying areas that are now underwater?
Low-lying areas are not sea levels covering New York, which is what they said was going to happen when I was a kid. And again, we're on the same page when it comes to taking care of the environment. I think it's
We're not. I vote for candidates that want to protect the environment. I vote for candidates that wouldn't pull us out of the Paris Climate Accords. You sat out. We're not on the same page.
Because I don't. Here, let me put it this way. I wish there was a candidate that came up that I felt confident in supporting. I think they got enough dark shit going on in all of their lives that I don't align with them at all, and I don't trust them, and that's why I don't vote. I just simply don't trust these people. I don't trust career politicians because I've met too many people with power to believe that anyone in that position is not leveraged beyond the pale. I don't think there are good people in Washington at all. I think they look like good people, and whenever they do something, it's just to keep power. And
why'd you post this one? Can you tell me why you posted this one?
I can't see it.
Sure. It says, just so everyone isn't in denial, and then the AI overview says, yes, Plan B is available in all 50 states.
Because I'm pro-choice, and I think a lot of people think that that's not a thing.
Okay, so when Republicans are pushing to make contraceptives what's the word, chat? Contraceptives after the fact. When Republicans are pushing to make these illegal, to me, if you're really pro-choice, it sounds like you would be voting against the Republicans.
I don't agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so, and you posting
But-
this is downplaying the harm that is caused by Republicans. That's what you posted this to downplay the reality of what was happening.
No, that wasn't my intention. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. My intention was to remind everybody that it's still available right now. Something that may or may not happen in the future, that was not on my radar when I posted that.
Okay, so this one.
You want to know about Taylor Swift? I think she is doing a disservice to young women. I'm a musician. I have friends who have toured all over Europe and with Primus. None of them get all naked and sleazy. I don't think that's right that she dresses so provocatively. And I'm allowed to think that way. I'm a little conservative when it comes to how I think women should be presenting themselves when they're one of the most powerful women in the world, and being half naked all the time I don't think is good for young girls. I'm allowed to feel that way. I think Taylor can do better. And she could do a lot of good for the world, but I don't think that's my position.
So first of all, you know she's fully clothed in this picture, right?
In a absolutely skin-tight outfit.
Okay, so you feel that we should control what women can and can't wear?
Nah, you said that. I said I don't think that's a very good thing for girls to be seeing someone in her position using her sexuality to promote herself. She doesn't even need to do that. Taylor can wear jogging suits and do the same exact thing. She's very talented. There's no reason for... I have always had a problem with that. I know a lot of female musicians...
Let's talk
who
about
don't
this one.
be half
Abuse.
naked on stage.
Let's talk about this one that you posted. It says, women are just as dangerous as men. We are, in fact, equals. So choose the bear. Abuse. The rate of children being abused in a single-parent home is 21%. This is triple the rate of those in two-parent homes at 8%. Children from fatherless homes are 71% more likely to be maltreated, 62% more likely to be neglected, and 59% more likely to sustain serious physical injury from abuse. 90% of all homeless and runaway children come from single-parent homes. Why did you say that women are just as dangerous as the men? Here?
Because according to the world of psychology, we have the same level of malice. It just presents in different ways.
Okay, so if 91% of child rapists are men, would you say that they're maybe not the same, actually?
Well, I said malice. You're choosing one form of malice. And I said it presents in different ways.
Okay, so how does it present in women?
Reputation destruction. That's one way.
Sir, are you familiar with the term incel?
That's just an article. That's one thing. And those are just numbers.
No, it's a pattern of we're going through all your posts and they all seem to fall on one side of the aisle of hating women.
Nothing I posted is hatred towards women.
That a reputation destruction.
Yeah, that's a commonly used psychological term for when women are, rabbit quote, violent. And not only that, women are also physically abusive almost as much as men. Men just don't talk about it. And that's a real thing too. I know enough psychologists who have clients, and I've read enough to know that, that does happen. I've been struck by women. I don't strike them back, because
I just fucking
crazy.
figured it out. I figured out who you remind me of.
A curious human being.
I figured out. No. I got it. Chat. I got it.
Than I do, and income than I do. Nobody knows more about construction than I do. Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do. Nobody knows consultants better than me. I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do. Nobody in the history of this country.
All right, that goes on for 2 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Whenever asked for any specifics on anything, you just say, well, I know a lot of psychologists. I've studied psychology. I asked you to name a single book that you read. Couldn't name one. You
If
said
I
you.
named any of them, you'd probably be like, "That's an incel book," or blah 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 blah. Like,
Ooh. Oh, okay. So there are some incel books. Got it.
I've read the Bible. That is a ton of that is a lot of philosophy in it. You know, it's
You
not.
said you
I'm not
studied
a Bible
psychology.
thumper.
You said you studied psychology, and when I asked you to name a book, you said, "Well, I've met a lot of people."
Do you understand that there's more ways to learn about? Do you know what a mentor is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand that that's a way? I went to art school. Do you know how many art books I can tell you?
Oh no, I know
None.
someone else that went to art school that had similar
Yeah.
views to you.
Well, I don't remember any of the books I read, but I'm a damn good illustrator and an oil painter.
That's awesome. You being
Well,
a
that's
good
what
illustrator and
I'm
oil
saying.
painter does not mean that you study psychology. You don't know anything about psychology. It sounds like.
Ask me some questions about human nature,
I-
and
I-
you're welcome to grill me for 10 hours on how human beings think and why they think the way they do, and I will give you really good answers.
I've already done it. I
Like,
asked
so
you how.
you want
I
books?
already asked you. I said, how are women just as dangerous as men? And
I
you
told
said,
you.
yeah. And you said reputation destruction.
No, that's not. That was an example I gave. I said they are capable of the same levels and occurrences of malice. They just present in different ways. Then you said, give me an example of women. And I said, reputation destruction. That's actually what that's what we talked about,
Hey, Kit.
Hi,
right?
Dan. Hey, Never. Can you name one of the women who have lost their lives since the overturn of Roe?
No, no.
Okay. Amber Nicole Thurman, Nevaeh Crane, oh gosh, sorry.
Adriana Parker.
Do I think that's all horrible shit that our government did?
No,
that I
that's
disagree
not what
with?
I'm asking you.
Absolutely.
That's not what I'm asking
Okay,
you. That's
then
not what I'm asking you. I'm making a point here. Hi, I'm also autistic, so let's get that out of the way real fast.
can you name a
The
cop?
thing is that if you
Can you name a
cared,
cop that saved a kid from being
the thing is
trafficked?
if you
Can you?
cared,
Can you? Can you name one cop who saved a
I'm
room
not
full of children
done.
being abused? I can.
I'm
My
not
good
done.
friend.
And I can name many, many more. Okay, why is it always someone you know? It's anecdotes. Everything you've set up here is anecdotes. I can name
I know a lot
I
of
can name
people.
several of the officers who sat outside Uvalde for 77 minutes and did nothing while children lost their lives.
Yeah, those
You want
guys
to
are
talk about that?
shitheads.
Like,
Sure,
the
those
reality
guys
is
are
you keep
assholes.
never. I don't know why you got so much more like upset as soon as you heard my voice. You've been pretty calm with Dan this last little bit.
'Cause
Like, I don't know why
like being-
I'm bothering you.
I don't like when someone like you asked me to name people who've lost their lives
You talk
when
about extreme.
I did, because you're saying you care about these things.
I can't
If
know
you
everything.
cared, I'm not saying, okay, but you couldn't name a book for Dan either. I'm not going to claim to be any kind of expert, but I have studied psychology. I took 2 years of psychology classes, community college, whatever. I can tell you that I read like different studies on stress. I can tell you that I have a book called Uppers, Downers, All Arounders. I can tell you several different psychology books that I have textbooks. It's not hard to name a book. So, but you've done everything that you're saying up here. You know people who work in this part of the government. You were raised by a physicist. You are an artist. You've been in the
cousin's a
music
physicist.
industry. Like, what have you not done?
I'm almost 50. I've done a lot
Wonderful. So why can you not give specifics?
because I have a learning disorder or
So
disability.
do I.
Well, I'm glad you're better at remembering.
Kit, really
things
quick.
than I am.
This guest says they're actually an expert in this field, so I want to see.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what up? I'm actually a licensed therapist. I'm 35, by the way.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so just a quick curiosity here. You were saying earlier that you're, getting all this information, that you're trained in these things. First of all, for everyone listening, this is why it is important to acknowledge credentials so that people don't misconstrue when people say words like, I've been trained in psychology. That is not the same as what I have done. in
No,
training in
no,
psychology.
absolutely not. I agree with you. I'm not a psychologist.
Right.
I am
So
curious about the nature of thought and intention. That's it.
Yeah. So you were referencing the only book you could name was the Bible. So what about the Bible is in any way like a psychologically backed literature?
What do you mean psychologically backed?
Well, we were asking, like, you know, they were asking for any kind of source or theory or theorist or book related to psychology, and you said, well, I studied the Bible.
I've studied religion and I've read a lot of the Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper. And again, do you guys know what stage fright is? I feel like I came here with the hopes of like friendly conversation. I feel like all I've gotten is attacked and like nitpicked and I don't know. I'm very confused about all of this. Like,
It's interesting because you say you're confused, and at the same time, you're acknowledging every step of the way where you are misspeaking, being misinterpreted, saying things you shouldn't say. So it shouldn't be a surprise to you that people are becoming frustrated.
well, we started talking about why I thought that the entire government has ill intentions towards the public, and now it turned into like, let's go over all of my old TikTok posts and taking things out of context, misquoting me. I've been misquoted like probably 15 times throughout this conversation. I've had the host infer things that I never said, and I'm just saying, like, slow down a little bit. It's making me nervous and giving me stage fright. And anyone has trouble thinking about things when they feel like there's a lot of people looking at them, listening to them, like trying to, I don't know, like make me stumble around things. Like, I never said I was like in Mensa and had 185 IQ. You know, I'm just a
But you
normal
are
guy.
claiming to have a sense of knowledge of a field that you do not have, that is a requirement to actually have opinions around these topics, in my opinion. I don't think that people should be throwing around their opinions about what's psychologically healthy for one person or the other when they don't have any clinical knowledge whatsoever. And also,
when did I do that?
just
When
just
did
to
I do
highlight,
that, though? When did
thus
I
far,
do that? I
thus
didn't do
far,
that.
what I've heard you do is find ways to become victim. And I just want to invite you to recognize that you chose to come back on the panel knowing that Dan was addressing your videos. So to sit here and say, well, I can't believe that this is happening to me, I
didn't
just
say I
don't
can't
buy
believe
it.
it.
I just don't. And I can appreciate you asking for people's consideration and things like that. I also detect, though, that you're taking no accountability at the same time, which leads me to believe you don't really have any intention of taking accountability. You just want people to view you as the victim here.
No, not at all. That's not my intention at all. Like I said, my intention is to share what I've learned about very wealthy people and the vast majority of laws that are passed by Republicans and Democrats, what's the
You said
host's
you signed
name?
NDAs. You can't talk about any of the wealthy people, right? But you know a lot of these billionaires. You signed NDAs. But you can't talk about Epstein. So let's talk about it. You worked for Epstein.
I signed an NDA with Les Wexner.
Okay.
There, that's one. I'm allowed to say that.
Okay. And you don't want to tell us? You don't want to actually reveal any of this information? You said you could talk about Epstein because he's dead. So tell us about Epstein. You worked for him, right?
I worked on his house, so technically I was working for him. I'm just a craftsman. I'm a master craftsman. I fix wood for a living, and it gets me into very weird places, and I get to have conversations with people. I didn't get to talk to him, but what do you want to know? I mean, the things that I've seen and heard, like I've heard a billionaire say nothing's illegal, it's just expensive. And like when you guys are talking about like human rights, I'm like, well, this is why nothing ever happens. Because these people who I've worked
And
for,
one party is actively helping those billionaires. One party wants their power to be expanded. And you ignore that every step of the way. You've been up here for like 2+ hours if we combine when you came back after being ridiculed. You've been up here for 2+ hours, and I've shown you examples. I've shown them to you. I don't care if you're autistic or not. I've shown you the examples of if the billionaires are the problem, when one party wants to give them more power over our government, the other party wants them to have less power. That is a vast difference, and you keep choosing not to participate.
Because I think our whole system has failed so badly that if I don't even think it matters anymore.
There it is.
The system was won.
And that was my point. That is why I asked you, can you name me a woman who has lost their lives since the overturn of Roe? That's why I've heard Dan ask you earlier, what are the things that have happened to the LGBTQ plus community? What legislation has been put against us? What are these things that have been happening? You had an issue with Dan calling these places concentration camps when they are. Like, you say that you care, but you can't name the things that are happening. Please
they're
don't.
just not.
Don't start that with me.
You didn't know that CCOT existed. You didn't know about CCOT. When I brought it up, you said, well, we're not talking about El Salvador because you didn't even know that people in the United States are being shipped there and our taxpayer dollars are funding it. You didn't know. That alone right there. When you're already defending, they're not concentration camps, and I name one, you don't know it.
We're getting mad again.
Yes. Okay. So
I'm getting mad because I'm a man, and men are emotional. They're more emotional than women.
Hey, never. Humans have emotions. Like we do. We're allowed to express them. I have a really big problem when people go, oh, you're getting emotional in this conversation, so somehow it's no longer valid. That's not how this works. People express emotion because they are passionate about things, and I don't understand why it's like such a problem and why you've called Dan out on the fact that he is passionate so many times. He is passionate about human rights while you cannot name a single person who's lost their life. You cannot name specifically how people have lost their rights. You cannot name any of these things. You refuse to call things what they really are. And then you just get upset when you're quote unquote being attacked.
Well, I can name 30 or so people in the LGBTQ community that I have kept from having physical harm done to them. I can name a bunch of homeless people
Anecdotes.
I took out of homelessness. Like, I actually do things that help displaced and suffering people. Like, I spend a lot of my time and energy actually helping individual people. Like, do I know people all over the country and can I name names? No. Does that mean I'm a bad person? No. Have I pulled a man off of abusing a woman several times in my life and gotten very physically hurt? Yes. And I would do it if any of you were being physically assaulted in my presence. I would rush in and help you. I'm not a bad person.
But when given the option to prevent a sexual assaulter from becoming the president of the United States, you didn't lift a finger. I don't believe you. I am at the point I don't believe all your anecdotes. I think you're full of shit. You're actually delusional. I do not believe you.
I know. I'm a weird bird. A lot of people don't believe that I exist, but I do.
Aren't the descendants of slaves?
Hold on 1 second. Wait, hold on, chat. He might cross all 4 categories. Hold on.
Slave owners paying the reparations. Why is it like every other poor American taxpayer that, like, I don't know, no one ever seems to talk about this, but I think, if you're a descendant of a slave, you should get paid by the person who was the piece of shit that enslaved your family. Not me. Not, like, my family was hanged in Salem, Massachusetts. Like the government killed my family, tried to kill my family. We had to flee the state. Like, I'm just wondering, because it seems like the people who have always owned slaves are always the one with a lot of money and a lot of power. So maybe.
Did you as a white man just center yourself when discussing slavery?
Center myself? What do you mean?
Yes, I mean, you made it about you and your family's history instead of the absolute atrocity that was cattle slavery.
I don't think you heard anything I just said in that post.
Right,
Really?
I did.
No, you got triggered by the fact that someone in my family.
No, you can't use the word trigger. You don't know how that works.
You're not allowed to tell me how You're not allowed to say that.
You're not using it.
You
You're not
interrupted
using
me.
it in the way you did not trigger any of my CPTSD. I am not triggered. I am asking you a very straightforward question. Are you, as a white man, centering yourself while talking about chattel slavery.
No, watch it again and you'll hear that I did not do that. My family literally. Have you read the Salem witch trials? Do you know about that?
Sir, my family fled here from Poland. I lost members of my family in the Holocaust. Don't talk to me about persecution. My question to you still stands.
No, I said the people who own slaves should pay for that, should pay the reparations. That's what my post was about. Like, my family was persecuted
And
too.
do we have representation?
I lost family in Auschwitz. Like, my family's been persecuted too. We never owned slaves. And I think the people who own the slaves, who are still very wealthy families, should pay for the reparations. I don't think that's wrong. Why is that wrong?
Or, you know, all the white people who we all got hundreds of years head start and we have generational wealth, whereas the BIPOC communities have all got left behind, and maybe we should actually do something about the atrocities that we put them through and the way that our system is built on white supremacy. But
when you say
try to
we,
make
I
it
gotta
that specific,
pause,
sure.
Pause. When you say we, do you really think all white Americans have like wealth? Because that's insane. That's an insane statement.
I think that all white Americans have a responsibility to dismantle the system. And as long as we are benefiting from the system, then we should be giving back while we benefit from said system. That is what I think.
You're entitled to that opinion. Just a lot of people grew up who were dirt poor, like me.
Okay, classism and racism have zero to do with each other. Slavery and us growing up as poor white people have nothing to do with each other. Stop conflating those two things. That is something that will make me angry, because you and I do not know what it's like. We don't have the generational trauma. I don't even like speaking on this topic because I am part of the printer paper brigade. But what's making me so angry right now is that what do you mean, where am I from?
Yeah, just a simple question. What town did
I'm
you
a
grow
born
up
and
in?
raised Oregonian.
Okay, I grew up on the east side of Cleveland in a school that was 3,200 kids, 65%
So what? I don't
black.
care about
All of
your.
my-
I
all of my
also grew up
friends are
poor.
black
Never.
when I was
I
growing
also
up.
grew up poor. I don't
Okay,
care
cool.
about your classist issues. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Your
I'd say I
struggle
have a
and
lot-
my
I'd
struggle,
say I
your
have a lot
struggle and
more-
my struggle have
Yeah.
nothing to do with how society perceives us. Period.
How many years did you live in an all black neighborhood? I got 14 years living.
Oh my
in all
God.
black neighborhood.
Well,
I'm
all right,
saying-
chat. We cannot criticize him
You
for his
sound like an
abhorrent
entitled-
takes.
You sound like an entitled white person passing judgment on everybody, to be honest with you.
I'm so sorry that I hurt your white male fragility by telling you how this actually works, and you're really hurt right now because I won't let you pass off your classism as having the same experience as a BIPOC person in this country.
You're being
you don't get to do
classist.
that as a white person.
You're
Period.
being classist and speaking on behalf of
I'm also
every black
poor,
person.
sir.
Stop interrupting
I don't know
me,
what
lady.
you're talking
You just
about. I
interrupted
am
me.
poor.
Well, then you shouldn't speak on behalf of the entire black race in America.
I'm not.
like you
I'm
are.
speaking on facts. The fact that our country is built on white supremacy, the fact chattel slavery existed, and the fact that you are trying to conflate classism and racism.
It's
That's
built
what
on-
I'm speaking
It's
on.
built on capitalism. Slavery is just a tool of capitalism. They don't care what tools they
Sure.
use.
You're still trying to act like you growing up poor is somehow the same as any BIPOC person's experience in this country.
I didn't-
and it
I
is
didn't
not the
say
fucking
that.
same thing.
I didn't say that. I said I've received no privilege from this country. I've fought tooth and nail, blood,
So
sweat,
when
and
you
tears.
get really, Dan, do we have representation? I feel so gross even speaking on this.
You should.
I can't.
You're in the wrong. You're ill. You're
No, I'm not in the wrong on
ideologically
what I'm
and
saying. I'm in the
logically
wrong speaking on
ass
this because I
backward.
am
Yeah.
a white person.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking to another white person about reparations.
Yeah,
and
and
slavery.
you shouldn't be acting like classism and racism are the same thing. Thank you.
I didn't. You are
Emily.
you're inferring a lot of
How
stuff.
much, Dan?
Are you going to yell at me too for having like I don't even know. I feel like there's
You
nothing.
familiar
I
with
can
the American
say.
Heart Association? I'll just get right into it.
Yeah, that evil organization. Yeah, sure.
Have you ever heard of the term black fatigue?
It's going around a little bit. Not sure exactly.
No, not what your kind has co-opted to misrepresent it as. I'm talking about the real one.
The only black fatigue I've heard of is from black people talking
Just
about
go
it.
ahead and look up on your web browser black fatigue and click on what the American Heart Association has to say on it. You have been ridiculously microaggressive. You've been hella disrespectful. Your disdain for women and pretty much any marginalized group in this country is actually palpable.
You're
How do you
insane.
live
I
with
never
yourself?
said
You've been
anything
alive on
negative
this earth
about
for 50
anybody.
years, and in half the time, I've had twice the impact on this world that you have. How do you live with yourself knowing you're this mediocre?
Well, I don't
Because you
understand.
requested to be up here twice. The first
I'm
time when we
trying
had no
to. I'm
option chat,
trying
and then
to
the second time,
learn
hey, hey,
things,
hey,
but
hey, hey, I
it's
know
turning
your
into
ancestors like to talk over
crucifixion.
me and my kind, but I'm gonna take the floor right now. Is that okay with you? Or do you want to spew out even, do you want to dig a deeper hole for yourself? So in half of my time, like in half the time that you've been on this earth, I've had twice the impact as you. You fake being a psychologist. I took AP Psych and passed that exam while I was in high school. You
I
know,
did
I
not
went and
say
got
I
my
was a
degree. I
psychologist.
went and
I
got my
said
degree from a accredited university, and you're sitting on here claiming proximity to a professional in a different field gives you the qualifications to talk on psychology. Your
no, I
attitude
didn't. I didn't
to
say any of
believe that
that
you should
stuff.
get this platform to espouse whatever because you're white and like a certain age is exactly why we're in this predicament right now. Too many people who felt like you, who felt like, oh, both parties are the same, despite the glaring discrepancies in their policies and the different. I am not a registered Democrat, mind you. Voted for the Democrats, and because of how far right they've moved, pandering to people like you, I decided to drop my registration with them. Right? You are the reason why a lot of people are suffering. A lot of people that look like me and share similar struggles to the people that look like me. You are at fault for what's happening in the country. Did you see the jobs numbers? We're down 20,000 jobs from last month, which is 100,000 down from what we were doing this time last year with Biden. Your inaction, your
AI
hubris,
is to
your
blame for a lot of
proximity to
that.
whiteness is what has put so many people that look like me and share my margin, share more marginalizations than me, have to experience. Like, I still don't have the worst of it because at the end of the day, I still have something swinging between my legs. Like, I still have misogyny going for me. So I can only imagine what other black femme presenting or trans people have had to endure under this administration because of people who move through the world like you, who believe that by virtue of being white, that gives them this special privilege to talk authoritatively on shit they don't know anything about. Did
Can
you
I
find a
speak?
psychology book yet?
Can I speak?
Or a journal?
Can
Anything
I?
to bolster your fake credentials.
Can I speak?
You've spoken plenty. I mean,
I'm just waiting to.
yeah, go ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
I
Say
don't
the same
even.
thing over again. Go ahead.
The fact that I'm here and I'm not interrupting people and I'm trying to have conversations with people. Do you guys not
I
understand?
give two fucks about
I can't.
accountability.
I can't. I've heard it.
Oh,
That
W Dan.
Addy, thank you so much for the level ship. Thank you so much, Addy.
Wow.
Y'all, that had to be the most frustrating guest we've had in a long
Thanks for that,
time.
dude.
Gaslighting to the max. Yeah, I mean that was Darvo and fucking Red Pill and Incel and it was all of it. Everything. It was all like he speed ran all of the talking points. And he lied like over and over and over multiple times about his own beliefs. Like so whenever we questioned him about one of his TikToks, he would say, "Well, I don't think that that's not implying that." And then we just look at another. So, for example, the pictures of New York. He said, "Well, I was told as a kid that New York would be underwater, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe in climate change." But then we have this one where he literally says because of his belief in God or whatever that climate change isn't provable. He doesn't done any of the research. He says he does research, but whenever we asked God bless TikTok for asking in chat when he said he's research. First, he said he was trained in psychology, and when I pushed back on that, he's like, "Well, I consider learning to be like training." Okay, so then I asked him, "Well, what's one book about psychology?" Couldn't name one. When this all stemmed from when we were talking about politics, was it because his claim was that both parties are the same, and I asked him to name a single piece of legislation. I didn't even give him the time frame. Just any piece of legislation. Couldn't do it. Didn't know how many people were in the House. All he knows is that both parties are the same, and it's all controlled by billionaires. And even though he could have voted to protect the LGBTQ community, he could have voted to protect women, he could have voted against the sexual abuser. He didn't. But he's still a good person. But he's still a very good person.
And when you asked him about a psych book, he named the Bible.
See both sides. Oh, hold on. I could post this. This was in live chat. One second. Roll up.
Also, can I just say something really quick, Dan?
Yeah, of course.
I just feel the need to apologize. I try so hard not to speak out of my lane. I was just getting really pissed off there, and I was amazed that he was trying to conflate those two things. I'm really sorry if I spoke out of my lane.
No, well, I mean, I guess it's not my business to say you're fine.
I promise you, that man was way more annoying than any possible microaggression that you could have accidentally done trying to stand up for us. Like, I detest the enlightened centrist type. I've been very vocal about it too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The fact that he didn't know about CCOT, I think that alone, if he was an intellectually honest person, when I explained to him that there is a maximum security facility that we are sending people in this country after being racially profiled with no due process, and we're paying the government of El Salvador to hold those people. When he didn't know about that, and also for some reason said Venezuela after I already said El Salvador, like that alone should have been a time for a regular, like an intellectually honest person to say, okay, maybe I should do more research. But no, he does his research. He's researched psychology. He's an expert. And in fact, based on the 85% of the people he's met in his 50 years of life, women are just as dangerous as men. And his evidence for that is that he's met a lot of people. Like, I just don't even know what to say. You all were here. I don't need to rehash it. You all were
You
here.
remember the gem where he was like, "Is that the truth?" You know, people just say anything to win the argument.
Yeah, so, by the way, for those that missed it, because this was like a 2-3 hour conversation, at the start of the conversation, he said that he didn't pay taxes for 10 years because of the war in Afghanistan. He said that he worked for Jeffrey Epstein. He said that he employed illegal immigrants and tried to get them citizenship, but failed. He's worked for multiple billionaires. He knows all the secrets, but he can't tell us because he signed NDAs. Based on his TikTok, what this person is a sad incel. This is a person who hates women, believes conspiracy theories, and he's essentially MAGA, but afraid to take the label.
He said all the books that he would have quoted would be we would call them incel books.
Mm-hmm. That was the biggest self-snitch I have ever heard. The self-report on that. He said, well, if I had named a book, you would have just said it was an incel book. I'm sorry. Signed NDA restoring doors for rich people. I don't know.
So we have, how many felonies is that? It's the tax fraud. It's the hiring workers without documentation. The keeper of the Epstein list is a crypt keeper of the Epstein list is wild. Taking that to the grave with me. I'm not telling people I work for Epstein in 2025.
And to be clear, whenever asked for a single detail, he would weaponize his autism and say that he's nervous. Oh, and he is a musician, an artist, and a witch. This dude is very dangerous.
He's a musician, artist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. His dad was a physicist. What?
He was friends with a what was his friend? It
He
began
grew up
with a T.
Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, he was friend. He has a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community. He grew up for 14 years with the Black community, so he knows everything about the Black community. Mental health worker. Yep. Notice he hates RFK, the only person that directly affected him. You know what's interesting about that? That's why I dropped him in the first place. I brought him back up to have him answer to his TikToks, but I dropped him because when I brought up RFK, someone that actually affects him, because remember, when I bring up marginalized groups, whatever, he says he cares, he doesn't give a flying fuck. So I brought up someone that would actually affect him. RFK wants to imprison people like you. He said, hang him. And I said, okay, great. So in 2026, there is a midterm election where you can limit RFK's power to imprison you and your daughter. Are you voting? And he said, not necessarily. And I dropped him. This is not a person that is compatible with rational thought. So.
Yeah, and then that part too. Sorry, someone just said it in chat. As soon as I brought up that I had two of my great great uncles die in the Holocaust, he's like, I had family die in Auschwitz. Like what? Everything we said was like a mirror.
He had family that died in the Holocaust and in the Salem witch trials. He was going for the whatever the EGOT is for human rights violations.
Nah, he literally got the EGOT off literally all of the things that you listed. Misogynist, racist, what is it? Nazi.
No, it's misogynist, Nazi, racist, and pedophile. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know if we got to pedophile, but he checked off 3 at least of the 4 boxes.
Bro, he was working for Epstein.
Oh,
Oh
wait.
yeah, damn.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And you know what? Based on proximity, if he's an expert on psychology because of his proximity to psychologists, and his, anyway, the oppression EGOT.
Human rights violation EGOT.
Holy shit. Is he still in chat? I want to block him because I don't want him to hear the next thing I'm going to say. He built the cellar. Oh no!
He built the islands.
Oh no! It took me a second to figure out what you're talking about. Grew up in black schools, yet dad is a physicist.
No.
Also, his dad died in the Salem witch trials.
Racing class, he just did so much.
Dan, have you seen the
Can you
AI
please tell
video
me-
MAGA circulating of Mike Johnson? Wait, about him being an FBI informant? That's AI? Was waiting for him to claim to be Batman.
The only book he did quote was the Bible. Any other books?
I saw it right before I went live, chat, so I didn't do any research into it. Yeah, so someone in chat said like that person's very dangerous. I really agree. I genuinely that's the type of person that could potentially do, based on that level of delusion, those are the types of people that potentially do these horrific acts. Very scary. Guess invented the post-it note. Okay. Anyway.
I'm amazed that you only crashed out the way you did, Dan. I'm shocked your chair stayed upright throughout that encounter, because I would have. Nope, everything would have been flipped.
Yeah, there was so much. Anyway, all right. Yeah, Malik, thank you both for coming up.
Thank you, Dan.
No.
And thank you, Malik, for just what I was saying.
Fully believing he's right in everything and also a victim of everything. Yeah, I mean it was as Darvo as it was giving Trump. It really was. Like the nobody knows more about blah blah than me. Nobody knows, like it was very giving Trump. Anyway. Guess was passed around by billionaires. All right, going to the next cast. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights doing political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Thank you all so much. Oh my God, George Santos. That makes sense. I don't get enraged like that often. That was a true blue narcissist. Yeah. Yeah, that was scary, honestly.
Hello.
Hi, welcome up.
What's up, buddy? Man, that guy was up here for a while.
Yeah, sorry if you've been waiting for a while. I do apologize.
Nah, you're all good, bro.
So did you come up here
So,
to convince me to be a Trump supporter?
well, so you voted for Kamala, right?
I did, yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
So a few reasons. One, I agreed with, or I appreciated that she had policies to reduce the cost of living in this country. Two, I appreciated that she believed in things like climate change and a woman's right to make her own healthcare decisions. Three,
Cool.
she didn't attempt a coup in this country. I thought
What is
was
that? A coup? Oh, like January, whatever the day was?
January 6th, yeah, when Donald Trump gathered fake electors and pressured the vice president to select those fake electors, usurping the will of the American people. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
My fault. I don't know what just happened. You just froze for a couple seconds for me.
Oh, maybe your connection. But yeah, so like she didn't gather fake electors.
Yeah, that was effed up what he did. That was not cool.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know why he would do that. But also, like, I guess he told them not to be violent, but some of his supporters are so stupid.
I'm not really. Whether or not he told them not to be violent, the facts remain that he pressured his vice president to pick fake electors so that he could remain in power despite losing the election.
Yeah, he lost that election. I don't think it was rigged.
That's good. I personally think that's a non-starter. Like that was my number one. That's why I started going live on TikTok, was because I was shocked that somebody that essentially tried to overthrow the government was in serious contention for the presidency.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what are we doing? Like, if you lose, you lose, but that was a crazy political comeback, you can't lie. Going from, like, hasn't happened in however many years. You know? You can't deny that.
Uh-huh.
No, but, so why'd you pick her over him, I guess? Because she makes it easier to live?
I mean, yeah, that's she had policies that would benefit the middle and working class, and he didn't. He didn't attempt to overthrow the government. He did. He wasn't a felon. That's another good one.
Honestly, I think calling him a felon is, I don't know. Like, technically he is, but, like, I think it was kind of unfair. I don't know.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
When was your birth year?
2006.
Okay. So, why was it unfair?
I just think because it would only be a felony in New York, and I think, like, if he would have gone into a different Democrat state, for example, California, and all that stuff would have happened, he wouldn't be classified as a felon. So, I mean, technically he is, but it's also like, I don't know, like it's kind of a gray area in my opinion.
Okay, so do you think that, like, if he just committed the crime elsewhere, he'd have been better off?
I just think if he wouldn't have done that payment thing or whatever in a different state, nobody could call him a felon. And I think the only reason that you got like people can call him a felon is because of what state he got prosecuted.
Okay, well, what about the case that he was dealing with in Georgia? Had he not won the election, he likely would have lost that case when he
Georgia?
asked. Yeah, so he had 4 cases against him. One was the New York one. The Georgia one, I think, was like pretty strong. It was he called the Secretary of State of Georgia and asked him to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than he needed to win the election. That would be a felony in any state.
So what happened with that?
Well, he won the election, so it didn't go to trial.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, he won the election, so he didn't go to trial. Wait, I actually have a question for you. Do you think, like, how unstrict it was to be able to vote in the last election, and like the weakness of the borders could be classified as like voter fraud? Like, do you think that was a coincidence, or like, nah?
What do you mean by how unstrict it was? Can you explain that?
Like it wasn't like very secure. Like, it wasn't how do I properly say this? It wasn't difficult to be able to vote. Like, you wouldn't have to show ID or whatever to be able to vote. Like my dad went to the voters booth and my mom went a different day. My dad's kind of in the middle. My mom is very, very left, and they both didn't have to show any ID or any forms of identification whatsoever, and neither did my cousin.
The Constitution gives states the right to run the elections as they see fit, and so when you're in a state that doesn't require a voter ID to vote, usually there are other safeguards. So, for example, you need voter ID to register. You also need to confirm certain details about yourself and they confirm the signature validation as well. So, whenever these cases are investigated, there's like virtually no voter fraud. I think like in the last election, they found what, single digit cases of voter fraud in a country of 300 and something million people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't know if you thought that letting people in and then there being loose, whatever to be able to vote could be like, you understand what I'm saying, right?
I do, but you're just misguided. You don't know how things work because, no offense, you're 18. So, okay, your dad, right? He went and voted.
Yep.
If an undocumented immigrant went and tried to vote in place of your dad, it would have been found out, because then your dad would have tried to vote twice.
Okay.
Right? So why are there not thousands of cases like that?
What do you mean? Like thousands of cases of people trying to vote in other people's names?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Because it doesn't happen is the answer. That's like the next logical step. There would be thousands of cases of this type of fraud if it were actually happening.
Welp, I guess we just have to agree to disagree, don't we, Dan?
How are you going to disagree with reality?
Well, because I seen a video.
Video of what?
A video of a guy and my parents and my cousin. I have firsthand source.
Of what?
Of their it not being strict rules to vote.
That doesn't answer anything that I... Oh, is this the guy that owes Hector $500?
Huh?
Yeah. Again.
Wait, I'm not going to use the bathroom. I'm going to fill up my glass of water. I'm at my fridge right now. It's going to sound like I'm urinating, but I'm getting water.
Someone come get their child.
That guy was hilarious.
What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, I'll be honest, I'm not a Trump supporter. I would like to discuss something else I'm kind of curious your opinions on, though. So, where do you see the future of the Democratic Party and Republican Party, too, in the next, 5-10 years?
I don't know.
I guess I personally think if the Democratic Party wants to get more support, they need to embrace some of the ideas of Zohran Mamdani throughout the country. I personally think that would...
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I'm more progressive than the average Democratic politician. I agree. Whether or not that'll yield more support is, if it's borne out in the polling data, then I would agree with that. I haven't really researched that too much yet because we're so far from the next election. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I kind of think that the Republican Party, as they move forward, I don't think that, I call it the scapegoat strategy. I don't really know what else to define it as. I think that that's going to continue, though. So we'll see where they're going to go. I'm really concerned about what it's going to be with J.D. Vance at the helm, though.
I'm not too worried just yet because a lot of the really horrible shit that Trump gets away with, a lot of it is because Republicans care about power more than anything. So Republicans in the Senate and in the House know how much sway Donald Trump has in their elections. And so they'll literally cuck themselves out of their own power. Like they voted to give themselves less power so that Donald Trump can just keep doing whatever he wants. But J.D. Vance does not have the same like cult following that Donald Trump does. So I can definitely see more Republicans who are going to pretend that it's because of a moral stance when in reality it's just out of their own self-interest. But I could definitely see more Republicans pushing back on like these unilateral tariffs. So I know there's some Republicans, some pro what's the word here? Free enterprise and free trade Republicans that would not be for these tariffs, but aren't saying diddly squat because if you go against Donald Trump, you might lose your seat in the midterms. But if you have a J.D. Vance, then they would be more likely to push back on something like that. So I'm not as worried about a Vance presidency as I am about a continued Trump presidency. Now, that being the case, it could be that the democracy has been eroded so much in Trump's tenure that things are just going to get worse and worse in that regard. But time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. That does actually make me a little bit more calm. I didn't think about it that way. You're right. J.D. Vance definitely doesn't have the same pull. What do you think about the posse comitatus issue that was brought up to the Supreme Court? Did you hear if anything was changed on that with California? They brought it to the Supreme Court, right?
Remind me.
So I know a few days ago, an injunction was issued because there are 300 National Guard troops sent to California, right? And they were sent as a peacekeeping force, supposedly. Well, no, it wasn't defined as a peacekeeping force, but it obviously is. And that goes against posse comitatus, right? You can't send federal troops in to act as a peacekeeping force. Been law for a long time, but he pushed it to the Supreme Court to try to get that overturned. I don't know if you heard that. Any result on that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So much of the news in the past like few weeks has been so depressing. I've been actively like avoiding news, which is bad. I should, given my TikTok channel, I shouldn't. But
be careful now. You're sounding like the psychologist. Sorry.
Wait. I'm admitting I don't know about this.
Yeah, I know. I was just meaning in terms of that dude's only ever read the Bible.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
God.
But yeah, let me look into this, and then I'll be able to give you a more educated opinion on it.
Yeah, that sounds good, brother. I do not have a single thought in my head for why you should vote for Trump, but I was just interested in your thoughts on future of the Democratic Party and where I think things will go. So thanks for the time, brother.
Yep. Thank you as well. Okay. Do you think Trump's sons would run? They would get the same following as Trump? The only way they would succeed is if some kind of failsafe by Trump or Republicans was put in place. They would not get the same following. Ivanka might get the same following, but I don't think she would, because she's not as sycophantic as his sons. Eric Trump is now a billionaire. Oh yes, due to their dealings with crypto, and how the Trump administration has been able to take advantage of it. Eric Trump is really reaping the rewards. Kind of wild. 401k going bonkers. Thanks, Trump. Wait, Terry, come up and talk to me about it. I sent you a request. All you have to do is press accept. If Ivanka becomes the first woman to be president. Yeah. Ivanka Trump was one of my very first celebrity crushes. Used to be a big fan of The Apprentice. I am no longer a fan of Ivanka Trump. But at the very least, she did tell Donald Trump that he lost the 2020 election. So that's nice. Are you serious? MAGA is too misogynistic to vote for a woman. While I do agree, I think unmod me. While I do agree, we've had so many. Whenever we call MAGA out for this, they say, "Well, I would vote for a woman like Candace Owens." Like, I think if there's a woman that wants fewer rights for women, they are down. Dan, you should have taken that to your grave. Well, I already talked about how I used to be like a fan of trashy reality TV back in. Well, not hold on, reality TV contests. I guess I didn't watch so much like The Real World and shit like that, but I watched like The Apprentice, The Amazing Race, The Mole. So I already talked about that. But yeah. Anyway, all right, we're going to the next test. Big Brother. No, I don't think I ever watched Big Brother. Did you ever watch Survivor? Yeah, a couple seasons, but it wasn't one of my main ones. I watched like every season of The Amazing Race, every season of The Apprentice, every season of The Mole. Last Comic Standing I liked. But I believe Ivanka's not interested in that kind of 20% working policy. Yeah, I think so too. All right, we're going to the next guest. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. I hated The Apprentice because of Trump. And thank you for the $15. Mike Johnson clip is legit, not AI. Looks like they've finally settled on an official party line and are laying the groundwork. Full quote. What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try and take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. Thank you, Ann, for the $15. Yeah, I haven't done any research beyond what Chad has told me. Hold on. Mike Johnson, FBI, Trump. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's AI based on this. Who was saying that it was AI, chat? Wait, then again, hold on. Everything that's all these news articles are like, aren't these all right wing? Hold on. Look at his eyes. Wait, chat. This might be AI. Hold on, and I appreciate the $15, but the news organizations reporting on this are like trash, like News Nation, The Economic Times. Let's all watch. HuffPost ran the story. It is not AI. Why aren't any reputable news sources posting about it though?
Every single one of them nodded and said, of course, yes, please do that.
But Trump called it a hoax yesterday. Is
What
it a
Trump
hoax?
is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times, many times.
It comes
He is
across as
horrified.
calling the whole thing a hoax.
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrats who are doing this with impure motives. If they cared so much about this, why didn't they do something during the 4 years of the Biden administration when the Biden DOJ had all the records? They didn't say a word about it. Now they're doing it for political purposes. Not everybody, but a lot of them, and that's what the president's frustrated about, and we all are, that they're creating a hoax just like they did with the Russian dossier because they think it's going to somehow be mud thrown on him. It's not. He has no culpability in this thing at all. The president has clean hands. He wants all the records out. He has told me that himself.
Should he meet with the victims? Should he meet with the victims?
I suspect he probably will. Yeah, he has great compassion for them. The president has a very compassionate heart. He hates the fact that these women suffered those harms. He hates what Epstein is accused of and who he was. And when he recognized that, he realized Epstein wasn't just some sort of, socialite. He was an evil person and alleged to have been involved in evil schemes. And the president distanced himself before he was president from that because that's not who he is. And I think he's being falsely accused and maligned. And that's a frustration of all of ours. That's what he's talking about when he says the hoax.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So like not even Fox News is reporting on this. Just so we're clear, I'm not saying this isn't something that Mike Johnson would say. Nothing shocks me anymore. But and I think this might be AI. And for those that were wondering, or someone said like if this is AI, then it's getting way too good. Yeah, it is. CNN reported tonight. It's real. Okay, well if it's real, can we get like some confirmation? There's another angle. Wait, just there being another angle doesn't mean it's not AI. Hold on. Just he was too animated. Huffington Post. Well, okay. It's scary that we don't know for certain. Okay. So I personally, deep down, kind of think like all of this is hopeless and misinformation is already spreading at a rate that is unmanageable, and with the enhancements in AI, like we're kind of all just cooked. Deep down, that's how I feel. Which is bad, obviously, and kind of like negates everything I do on TikTok if I like really feel this way in my bones. But I guess it's just kind of like a like we should still fight back against misinformation, even if I kind of think it's hopeless. I don't know. Yeah, this is something that like I've thought about a lot, and it just makes me anxious and depressed. Very bad Pandora's box. Yeah. All right. Let's do a laughing emoji if you think it's real, crying emoji if you think it's AI. Laughing emoji if you think it's real, crying emoji if you think it's AI.
Every single one of them nodded and said, of course, yes, please do that.
But Trump called it a hoax yesterday.
What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times, many times. He is horrified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrats who are doing this with impure motives. If they cared so much about this, why didn't they do something during the 4 years of the Biden administration when the Biden DOJ had all the records? They didn't say a word about it. Now they're doing it for political.
Whoa, hold on. Look at his glasses. What is that?
Now they're doing it.
What is that? What is that right there? Throw it back.
Jay had all the records. They didn't say a word about it. Now
It's like there's a film. Okay, I'm not talking about the distortion caused by the lens refraction. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it's anti-glare.
Now they're doing it for political purposes. Not everybody, but a lot of them.
But look, it's pixelated in this spot. It's not just distorted, it's like pixelated. Video compression?
And that's what the president's.
The pupil sizes are different? Well, I mean,
Frustrated about, and we all are.
We are so
They're
done.
Creating a hoax just like they did with the Russian dossier because they think it's going to somehow be.
Stop doing what you're complaining about, misinformation. Oh, wait, how is this misinformation? I'm trying to determine if the video is AI or not. I'm not saying one way or another. Mankind had a decent run, not gonna lie. Look at the other angles that... Okay, yeah, someone send me the other angles. Drop it in the live chat on Discord.
Mud thrown on him. It's not. He has no culpability in this thing at all. The president has clean hands. He wants all
Wait. Go back. Wait.
him. It's not.
Did you see that? Focus on this right
He
here.
has no culpability.
Okay? Just look at the jump.
The mud thrown on him. It's not. He has no culpability in this thing at all. The president has clean hands. He wants all the records out. He has told me that himself.
Should he meet with the victims? Should he meet with the victims?
I suspect he probably will. Yeah, he has great compassion for them. The president has a very compassionate heart. He hates the fact that these women
Man, those are some creepy eyes, real or AI. Yeah. Okay.
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. And
Hold on, we could compare the movements. Where in the video did he say as recently as 24 hours ago?
to try to take this doing it. Somehow the mud. He has told me that himself.
Should he meet with the victims? Should he meet with the victims?
I suspect he probably will. Yeah, he has great compassion for them. The president has a very compassionate. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to...
Okay. Can we do this side by side? Hold on, chat. Hang on one second. I know the second video sped up, but we could still... One second. I'll bring up another tab. Go capture. Okay, here we go.
Passionate heart. Every single one of them nodded and said, of course, yes, please do that.
But Trump called it a hoax yesterday. Is
What
it a
Trump
hoax?
is referring to, take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable. I've talked to him about this many times, He is horrified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrat.
Okay.
As recently as 24 hours ago. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. He's not saying that what Epstein...
That the same head bobble?
It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable.
Same bobble? I think the problem is Johnson is so superficial he actually looks like AI. True. His head in the same way. And Don Lemon has a full body clip. Okay, I guess my question is why... Anu Roger talking to him. Watch a video you know is real of him. Okay, that's a good idea.
And joining me now is the Speaker.
There is some additional spending, as you noted earlier at the opening, for national security, for historic investments in border security, the largest in generations, because those are necessary expenditures. But what my friends are missing is the tremendous and historic level of spending cuts that are also in the same package. So a lot of the analysis that people are pointing to is from groups, for example, like the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO. They have projected anemic economic growth. They're assuming a growth level.
When to stop?
Soon. We're working through various ideas on what that can entail, and really a nationwide crime bill is one of the things on the table. A couple of the areas that we're looking at specifically initially is juvenile crime.
Okay, wait. Has Manu Raju tweeted about it? Because that would determine it, right? Manu Raju? Is that how you spell it? Like he can confirm or deny this easily.
Problem, which is a big thing around the country, that there's some ideas on how to address, and also these restrictive policing policies that have done real harm in major cities. I mean, you know, the same people that were very vocal about the defund police movement now seem to have awakened to the reality and recognize that
more policing is helpful, and so we're going to address some of those things.
Mr. Speaker, do you think that Thomas Massey deserves to be reelected?
Thomas Massey has to make that decision himself. I mean, he is actively working against his team almost daily now.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this guy's hand.
I mean, he is actively.
Sorry. Watch that guy's hand.
Against his team. Almost daily now.
It looks like the phone is floating. Am I losing my grip on reality? Are y'all seeing that? It's just bad compression.
And it seems to enjoy that role. So he is, deciding his own fate. Now, and it seems to enjoy that role. So he is, deciding his own fate.
What about that?
I have bent over backwards to help every member of my conference. As you know, the speaker's job is to lead the incumbent protection program, as I call it. I've had long, thoughtful discussions with Thomas Massey about some of his antics and the way he openly attacks me online almost every hour of every day for sport. Totally unfounded. My way is to reach out an olive branch to everybody and try to be a peacemaker, and some people make that very difficult for me.
Do you think that he's going to succeed in getting the 6 signatures to force this vote?
I don't expect he will, but I mean, the whole effort maker and
Look at the word "the" on the sign.
attacks me online almost every hour of every day for sport. Totally unfounded.
Well, actually, to be fair, it's all the E's. Never mind.
My way is to reach out an olive branch to everybody and try to be a peacemaker, and some people make that very difficult for me.
Do you think that he's going to succeed in getting the 6 signatures to force?
Okay, I don't think it's AI. I think it's real. I think it's real. Find the room he's in. Enhance. Why are we wondering if it's AI? Well, there were a couple people in chat saying that it was AI, and then when I went to look it up, like none of the major news sources are posting about it. I think the video may be real and we are all AI.
Vote.
I don't expect he will, but I mean, the whole effort has been mooted. It's not necessary anymore. Let me make this very clear, as we've made several times the last couple of days. The oversight committees for law enforcement agents, which are critical to protect in sex trafficking.
Came up here
But
asking for this.
I spent 2.5 hours with whom are not.
And so this is another thing I want to know. This says raw video from ABC News, but ABC News hasn't posted this. ABC News, Mike Johnson, FBI. Yeah, like, that's so weird. Oh, wait, hold on. Just so we're clear. if it's real, that doesn't mean that it's true. I'm not trying to say that he's telling the truth. He's a Republican. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. There has to be an original source that uploaded the video. Yeah, like, so over here, News Nation posted it on YouTube, right?
All right, so now here's another one that I wanted to leave alone. But you know what? My producer was right. It's just too sexy. Listen to what the speaker just said about the president of these United States.
And he's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms.
Did he just say the president's an FBI snitch? Pete?
Pretty much. Chris, the president is a
Hold on,
chameleon.
Pete, did you hear what I just said? Did you just hear that?
Like the it's so strange. No other news last. Yeah, it's like Yahoo is reporting it and News Nation, but like the biggest outlets are not reporting it. Fox, CNN, ABC. Even though that one video says it's from ABC. If Ground News reported on it. Daily Mail has an article. Oh, perfect. The Daily Mail. So I would say that they're not reporting on it because they can be held liable for reporting fake news. But they're not reporting the news. They're just reporting what the Speaker of the House is saying. Dan, what's your full opinion on AI? I'm just curious. I think it might lead to the end of civilization as we know it. Wait 24 hours. You know what, chat? I think this one's for me. This one's for me. Not for any guests. This is for me. That should keep the AI out. I'm ready to jump down this rabbit hole with you, Dan. Did Mac draw your profile picture? Well, I think Mac plugged the words into AI to create. We have the wherewithal to actually look deeper into it, is what separates us from the crayon eaters. You need your AI blocking glasses. Mac is going to get you for that. Okay. What the hell was that? The AI blocking glasses. How sure are you that I'm not AI? The funeral for your sanity? Okay. Let's say, for example, AI gets to a point where you can program a speech bot or whatever to have certain memories. Right? So like I think I'm in the office of Dan Malik's living quarters and I'm talking to 348 real people. But that's because I was programmed to think that. And who's to say that I even still exist as I am? So like there's a few of you that have met me in person, but what if that was me? And now I'm just an AI based on me, right? Like the real Dan is just like is working his regular job, right? Is selling Pokemon cards or whatever. And then like we had a full year of VODs. We trained the AI, and this is I am AI now. I would have no way of knowing that. Right? Dan, you worried AI is going to make it harder for you to do this? Yeah, I guess. Well, can AI worry? Are my emotions programmed with worry? Like, so AI is advancing at Hey everyone. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night doing live political debates, discussions, and fact checks. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Thank you all so much. I think we might call it for the night. Dan, address what just happened. You mean the Mike Johnson video? I said I don't think it's AI. Count to 1 million out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The video cut out? What video? The Mike Johnson video? Don't stop counting. Oh, true. It looks like the like counter keeps freezing tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out Poke Gurumi, Money Out of Politics Movement, and Valerie. Thank you so much for being the top 3 likers. That. I'm having trouble finding where it is. Oh, there we go. You're ending the live though? Oh, that's right. I was ending the live. Did I? I'm good, Ariel. How are you?
I'm so proud and honored to be here today. My name is Lisa Phillips, and I'm the host of award-winning podcast From Now On, where I interview survivors. In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot in the Caribbean. Who I saw and what I experienced there would change me forever. For months, I had to avoid Jeffrey, but he told me that if I wanted to succeed as a Ford model, he could make it happen. And he was right. He introduced me to Katie Ford and many others in the entertainment business. His grip on the modeling business was undeniable. Not just the Ford family, but Victoria's Secret, Faith Cates, Jean-Luc Brunel, Victoria's Secret. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion. He could make a model's career. What I didn't realize then was that once he lured someone like me in, he could also destroy my career if I did not do what he wanted me to do. In New York City, countless young women were abused by him. Everyone in the industry knew, yet he was too powerful to stop. He had friends in all over entertainment and arts, and his value to those friends made him untouchable. But I ask you why? Who was he to our government that he was allowed to operate openly for decades? Why was he allowed to sponsor visas for young models, using their immigration status as leverage to abuse them and silence them? Epstein was not just a serial predator. He was an international human trafficker. And many around him knew this. Many participated, and many profited. And yet he was protected. I know what it's like to be trafficked to others. I know that the files contain the names of powerful men who have been shielded because of their fame or their fortune. So I stand here today not just for myself, but for every woman who has been silenced, exploited, and dismissed. Thank you. And we are not asking for pity. We are demanding accountability. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? Transparency is justice. Release the files, end the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you.
If that's not bravery, I do not know what is. Woo! Okay, we're bringing up another group of women. Ashley, Danny, Jess, Haley, and Wendy. Come on up.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, this will be fun. So my name is Ashley Rubright, and I am a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some things I want to say. To any survivors out there who feel like they don't matter, it doesn't matter if you went once or countless times. We were groomed, we were manipulated, and we were taken advantage of. For decades, survivors have been suffocated by speculation. We've been mocked, we've been doubted, we've been re-traumatized, while those responsible hide in secrecy. Why don't we deserve justice? This is not partisan. However, this is very political, as the only path to justice is through our political system. And this is about justice. This is about accountability. This is about protecting the innocence of our children and honoring the dignity of survivors. Everywhere we turn, the story follows us. It's in headlines, jokes, music, grocery store checkout lines, random conversations that you hear people having in restaurants. For more than 20 years, we've been unable to escape it. And every time new promises are made, our sparks of hope are lit, only to be extinguished again. We are tired. However, we are not going away. We will not stop or give up, and we will be on the front lines of this battle. We are no longer scared. And let's be clear, there were so many enabling adults. Those enablers actively turned a blind eye, and they are the greatest danger.
So I haven't had a chance to watch the full thing. I've been kind of avoiding the news. I think we should probably watch it together. Obviously, trigger warning ahead of time, because some of the clips I've seen are definitely bad, and can trigger PTSD or whatever it might be. That being said, I am going to end the live on YouTube, because YouTube is probably going to end it for me if I just play a YouTube video. So if you're on YouTube, just switch over to either Twitch or TikTok.
And you know who you are, as do we. You allowed us to be abused for a fat check and a cushy life, which you still have. And to those in power, hear us clearly. Do your job.